Welcome to David E. Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. It's a great day of IBL baseball here for you. One that we weren't sure was going to actually end up happening, but the clouds have cleared up and we have a great baseball game in store. It's the Guelph Royals home opener facing the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we have a direct stadium announcement here.
Today we are proud to acknowledge the 2024 Inter-County Baseball League Manager of the Year Award to none other than our very own manager, Dino Romano.
And so it's Lucky Roberts alongside Jaden Prasad, and we'll talk about Dino right after this.
And excellence. Under his leadership, the Royals reached the 2024 IBL Finals, showcasing resilience and determination. This award is a testament to his outstanding leadership and commitment to the team. Let's give a big round of applause for Dino.
And so let's talk a little bit about Dino Rumel. He's played for both Guelph, he's coached for both Guelph and the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. In 2022, he returned to Guelph, but he's a champion with Guelph in 03 and 04, their most recent championships, and the Leafs in 2007, hoping to get back to this season.
Yeah, he's a great manager, and he's looking to turn things around this season. The Royals haven't gotten the start that they wanted. I believe they started 0-2 on the year, but they're looking to get their first win of the season here at home at David E. Hastings Stadium in Guelph against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And we see the first pitch thrown out. Just a little high, but a great first pitch nonetheless in front of a huge home fan crowd here for the Royals. There's a good throw there by Josh. And who do we have on the mound here today, Jaden?
Well, on the bump here for the Guelph Royals is going to be number 51, Jordan Taylor. The 18-year-old from Mississauga threw 2 innings the other day at Brantford with 3 strikeouts. Taylor sits in the high 80s with his fastball, also likes to flip in that slider in the high 70s, but we'll be seeing today if he wants to flip in that curveball that typically sits in the high 60s, similar to Chris Bassett of the Toronto Blue Jays with that big, slow, looping curve.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting start. The 18-year-old getting the start on the home opener, not something you'd like to say, but he's part of a really big recruiting class of Connors State here. You can see Owen Newman, another pitcher there, and they're a very young group that are going to be coming together here and really trying to infuse some youth here. Another player who is young, who's actually going to be starting here for the Guelph Royals, is going to be Tommy Hanger, who's an 18-year-old Texas Tech University commit. Tommy Hanger, he's not the biggest in the box, but the ball just pops off his bat every single time. He's going to be playing shortstop today. He's the first man up for Guelph Royals, and it's going to be quite an interesting start for them.
Absolutely. Hanger hasn't got off to the start that he wanted this year either. He's 0 for 6 this year, but the one time they did get on base, he was able to steal second. So we'll see what he can do here. Maybe he'll pop one out in the short center field fence here at David E. Hastings.
For sure. And some other interesting players of note starting here. Andy Leader, obviously in right field. He's going to be third in the lineup from Kitchener. He's played with the Kitchener Panthers in 2024. He's a new addition to this Guelph Royals. Lots of new additions throughout the lineup here. And it's going to be great to see this new look squad. You've got Garrett Takamatsu, who was with the Quebec Capitals in 2023. Now he's a Guelph Royal playing third base. And just a lot of great new additions for this Guelph Royals team.
Absolutely, and you talk about Andy Leader. That guy last year in 112 ABs with the Kitchener Panthers hit 2 bombs, 14 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases, which is a big thing. It's something to talk about and something that I believe the Guelph Royals really need to incorporate more into their game if they want to get ahead early in these ball games.
And for the Maple Leafs, starting on the mound is Josh Berenbaum from Richmond, BC, 5'10", right-handed pitcher. Played for Fraser Valley University most recently. What do you like from him?
Yeah, well, Baron he's a veteran pitcher, 25 years old out of BC. The other day at Barrie, he threw 3 innings, so he's no stranger to this ball club and to this coaching staff. In 2024, he won the CCBC's Cy Young Award and was named to their first team all-conference after going 3-0 with an ERA of, get this, 0.28 over 32 innings, notching 40 strikeouts and allowing just 1 earned run as he led his team to a World Series championship in May in the CCBC.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised for both of these teams if it was a big bullpen day. For the Guelph Royals, you have Arturo Alvarez, Edgar Garcia, Gaku Ueda, and Niall Windler, who are all made active as bullpen arms if needed, as well as Jordan Taylor obviously starting. So I think everybody's going to take their pick of innings and try to get through it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's how it goes early in the season, 2 innings here, 3 innings there. I mean, we should see a good showing today from both Barenbaum and Taylor as they start, both probably looking to go at least 1.5 to 2 times through the order. That'll hopefully take them at least through 3-4 innings. And, after that, they'll hand it over to the bullpen, and both of these teams have some strong arms coming out of the pen, such as former big leaguer Edgar Garcia for the Guelph Royals, who pitched 57 innings in his MLB career.
Yeah, some really big names here on both sides. Manager Bob Butler's got some really interesting players like Ayami Sato, who's 34-year-old. You probably heard of her. Team Japan pitcher, and probably, I'd say, the best female pitcher ever. She's a joy to watch, and hopefully we'll see her pop out today.
Yeah, she's touted by many as the greatest female pitcher of all time, and for good reason. She made history on Mother's Day last week by becoming the first woman to play in Canadian professional baseball history.
And now, friends, your 2025 Guelph Royals.
As the Royals take the field here, starting on defense. First up to bat for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's going to be Ryan Dos Santos from Caledonia, Ontario. Played for Southwestern Oklahoma State and Tusculum in the NCAA. And he's going to hope to get to a good start here with the Maple Leafs. He's 6'3", lefty in the box. He's got some good power on him. He's playing in left field. And Ryan Dos Santos is going to get them started. Well, like I was saying earlier, Jaden, we weren't really sure if we were going to see a game today, but the weather really turned around, and hopefully the field doesn't get too mucked up because of it, but I'm really happy that they were able to get something out, and for the home fans who all showed up.
Yeah, I'm glad, and it's been a good turnout so far, with tons of fans lining the bleachers here at David E. Hastings Stadium on this brisk afternoon.
It is a little chilly out there. Wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple slips and falls, some cold arms out there on the pitching mound, but it's a record-breaking, I think, amount of chill in Southern Ontario in the past couple days. It's May 24th here now, and still very, very chilly.
It is, and we see that reflected even with the Toronto Blue Jays playing at the Rogers Centre. I believe the dome has only been open once or twice so far on the season, and we're in May 24th now, so it's only a matter of time before that dome will remain open, and we'll get some nice summer weather here for the Guelph Royals.
And here comes up, stepping to the plate, as mentioned earlier, Ryan Dos Santos.
Top of the first here at Hastings Stadium. Leading off for the Toronto Maple Leafs, the left fielder, number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
Jordan Taylor for the first pitch here in the 2025 season in David E. Hastings Stadium. And it's called for a strike. He did go around there, and I think it was a strike either way. And Ryan Dos Santos is down 0-1.
Dos Santos is their leadoff man for a reason. In 146 at-bats last year, hit .329 with 4 bombs, 24 RBIs, and 18 stolen bases.
As he quickly goes down 0-2. Going to have to relieve that bat off his shoulders and protect the plate here. And he hits a nice hit there out to center field, but it is caught there by center fielder J.D. Williams. Great job there to track that ball as it went and hurtled towards that deep left field corridor.
Dos Santos got a good piece of that one, but didn't get it all. Nice catch there by Dennis Banning.
So now second up to bat, coming into the box, is Rando Moreno. He's a switch hitter from Monte Plata in the DR. Fake the bunt, and it was a ball outside. Moreno played for the San Francisco Giants in minor league baseball, at one point reaching even AAA. So he's a big guy you have to worry about in this lineup. And it's ball number 2 for Taylor. Ball number 3 here. That one was high, wild pitch. It's a good thing nobody was on base, or that would have been a free pass.
Rando Moreno spent the 2016 season in the San Francisco Giants organization. Batted .252 on the year with 486 plate appearances, as that one was called for a strike.
In at the knees there for Moreno. Jordan Taylor gets back in the count. Hit straight up the middle. Are they going to make a play? And it's a close play at first, but they get him. A great play there in second base. As you see Jordan Gallo ranging to his right, he was really hedged over there, but still was able to get to the ball and make a play off one knee. What a play.
Yeah. Gallo sliding feet first to that ball, just trying to knock it down, keep it on the infield. And he did that and more. Got the out at first base. Close call there by the umpire, but I think he got it right.
And now 2 down here, coming into the box for the Maple Leafs is going to be Jordan Castaldo from Toronto, Ontario. 36-year-old, played Arkansas State University, 6'1", lefty. And once again, we see a similar shift for the Royals. Both the shortstop and the second baseman almost out onto the green there. As it's ball 1.
Yeah, Castaldo had a huge season last year for the Maple Leafs. Batted .308 over 159 at-bats. 6 homers, 29 RBIs.
Well, Castaldo's been a fixture in this Maple Leafs lineup for a long, long time. He's been a Maple Leaf lifer, you could say. And he gets started another season in 2025, ball 2.
Certainly going to go down in the Maple Leafs history books as Jordan Castaldo, as he redoes his batting gloves and looks to start something here for the Maple Leafs.
Castaldo hits it down the first base line, but just foul. And that's going to be his first strike on the at-bat. And you can see a little bit of the power there, but Castaldo has ounces of power.
Absolutely. He was just a little out in front there on that breaking ball.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. High and outside. There's been a couple of those so far, but hasn't really been too much of a worry for Jordan Taylor as there is 2 down. Now it's a 3-1 count here to Castaldo.
The umpire is going to come out and have a chat with Jordan Taylor, telling him something that we couldn't hear up here in the broadcast booth.
I'd be pretty surprised if we could hear that. We've got to have some superhero. I don't think that was meant to be heard by us. It's Castaldo. Swings, and it's a high fly ball to left field, but the left fielder doesn't have to move for the Royals. And that's the top of the first done. 3 up, 3 down as the Royals run off the field. A great play there in left by Ashton Patterson by the Royals. No runs, no hits for the Maple Leafs, as it's now the Royals' turn to get up to bat.
make sure to purchase your 50-50 tickets. Look for the sellers throughout the ball game today. We will announce the winner.
So as we were mentioning earlier, Tommy Hanger going to be the first one at bat. He's 18 years old, a very young player, and Guelph is going to be, I think, leaning on their young players here. And another thing to mention, it's Garrett Takamatsu's birthday today. He's just turned 27. Great for him. He's getting the start at third base. And Takamatsu is a player, a great addition for this team from, as I was mentioning earlier, the Quebec Capitals. And it's, you know, it's always good to play on your birthday. It's a fun day. I bet he was wishing there was a little more sun outside, but either way, it's always fun to be playing baseball.
Takamatsu last year hit .287 over 143 ABs, 4 homers, 32 RBIs, so he's got some pop in that bat, and I wonder if we'll see some here today. Takamatsu is batting 5th for the Guelph Royals.
So they're going to need a couple of men on base for that to happen. But the Guelph Royals are definitely capable, and after the slow start, they're definitely going to be wanting to strike early here in this third game of their season. They was supposed to be their 4th, but their game against Barrie, like so many others here in the IBL, got rescheduled. And after the heavy amount of rain in Ontario. And so here comes Tommy Hanger, left-handed batter. And he's facing down Josh Berenbaum. Oh, and a little check swing there. Tried to get it down that third base line. I think he thought the third baseman for the Leafs was cheating a little bit, but wasn't able to keep it fair. And there's a good cut. It's popped up. Are they going to be able to make the play? And a great play in left field. The Maple Leafs catch a break there, able to get that one. Left fielder Ryan Dos Santos making the rangy play and able to get that first out on Hanger.
Some flashing of the leather already. Early on today, we saw that play over at second base by Gallo in the top half of the inning. And now in the bottom, we saw Ryan Dos Santos with that sliding catch in foul territory.
And up comes J.D. Williams, somebody who has lots of fans here in Guelph. He's been great. He played in the Cincinnati Reds minor league baseball system, but that was back in 2015 to 2018. Quebec Capitals in 2019, but being happily with the Royals for quite a while now. First ball high by Berenbaum. Second one high as well. Very similar fastball. Trying to get J.D. Williams to bite, but he will not. And he's now in an advantageous count for himself. 2-0. And he's hacking on the third one. And missed there on the far side of the plate. Now it's 2-1. And strike 2 there once again. I think Berenbaum liked what he saw from that first pitch and did the exact same thing and worked out. J.D. Williams going to have to adjust. And the high fastball gets him. Strike 3 called on J.D. Williams. Caught swinging.
Looks like Williams got just under that one, foul tipped it straight back into the catcher's mitt for out number 2 here in the bottom of the first.
Your right fielder, number 11, Andy Leader.
So coming in now is Andy Leader. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Looking to get on base here. Berenbaum and swinging early here is Leader. Just a little late on that pitch. Went a halfway, but he didn't go full. And that's going to be ball 1.
Leader, like we mentioned earlier, had a 250 average on the season last year with Kitchener.
Leader strike 2, another big hack. But once again, can't catch up to the fastball of Berenbaum.
Go ahead.
Oh, and he hits it down to third base, but it's a weak dribbler. And wild throw there, and that's going to get leader all the way to second base and in scoring position. The wild throw by third baseman.
Your first baseman, number 45, Liam Wilson.
That was John Javier who had that errant throw from third base from the Maple Leafs. It was a little jam shot there by Andy Leader. Got it right in on the hands.
That's why sometimes you just got to put it in play.
Yeah.
Who knows what can happen? Guelph has now a chance to start the score in here.
We were talking about it earlier. The ground is quite slick today. You wonder if that was a factor in that errant throw by Javier that, nearly hit one of the fans down there beside the dugout.
And now into the boxes, Liam Wilson also played for the Kitchener Panthers in 2024 and now a member of the Royals, looking to cash him in. And sit down to third base, looking to make amends there. And it's another error. And here comes home the Royals, and it's another mistake here by the Maple Leafs, and the Royals are here to capitalize.
And John Javier again tried to overcompensate. The first throw he threw it high, the next one in the dirt. Unable to pick it for Toronto was Castaldo, and that one sailed
And
into the seats as
birthday
well.
boy Takamatsu. Didn't really, after those last two plays, I bet he wasn't expecting to be up in this inning, but has a chance once again to double the score for Guelph.
And I'll tell you what, if there's anywhere on the field that Takamatsu was looking to put this ball, it's right down the third base line. Put more pressure on Javier.
This ball one a bit low.
Javier right now needs to reset himself at third base, be ready for a potential steal. I don't think that is going to be in the cards.
But like you said, any pressure you can put on Javier, and now it's a wild pitch. As he does get to third base there, no Javier error needed.
The Maple Leafs are not enjoying this inning defensively. There's a wild pitch, a couple of errors from the third baseman, and now we have a runner on third.
It was after such a nice play there in left field by Ryan DeSantos, and it's all fall apart since then. Takamatsu's still in the box. And he's hacking a deep fly ball to center field. Backtracking. Oh, bounces off the wall, and that's going to score a run. Takamatsu into second base. And the Royals get another one, almost a home run. Probably got 360 out of that 369 that he needed at center field. But he's going to take the RBI either way, as Takamatsu has a great start to his birthday.
And the birthday boy delivers as Takamatsu hit that one just a few feet away from being a home run. Would have been an even better start to his birthday, but an RBI double nonetheless.
And it was another high fastball by Josh Berenbaum. And that one Takamatsu was able to catch up to and hit it really deep.
Here's a meeting on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, obviously looking to regroup after a couple of errors, a wild pitch, and now that booming RBI double by Takamatsu. Coming up is the catcher for the Guelph Royals, Matthew Ward, the 23-year-old from Mississauga. What can you tell me about Ward?
Well, Matthew Ward coming in, he's, like you said, from Mississauga, played for Niagara University, 23-year-old right-handed hitter. He's a catcher, and he's been playing for the Royals a couple seasons, and he's looking to, make his name on that card at catcher for a long, long time. Now, Berenbaum, if they're earned or not, still has let 2 runs in here in this inning and has got to regroup himself.
But Ward is not an easy out. Last year with Niagara, over 140 ABs, hit .271 with 4 homers.
That's a ball here by Berenbaum.
4 homers and 30 RBIs last year for Matthew Ward, as he's got a runner in scoring position looking to cash him in.
Matthew Ward swings, and that's going to be over the second baseman into the gap. That's going to score a run. And Ward, thinking about second, doesn't end up going as the Maple Leafs let in a third run this time. And Ward continues that streak for Niagara here with Guelph.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a hitter. Take that outside fastball, send it the other way over the second baseman's head, and that's what Ward did exactly. Was able to score Takamatsu from second. And Ward was thinking about potentially a hustle double, didn't end up risking it. He's on first base now as the Maple Leafs, still with 2 outs, are rallying.
It's been a big inning here for the Royals, and now in comes Ethan Hammond, who played for the Deauville Spartans in the NCAA. He's from Toronto, and so he's going to try to get payback to his hometown team.
The 25-year-old Hammond is the DH today and takes a strike on the outside edge. Last year, Hammond hit .304 in 92 ABs with 11 RBIs. 4 stolen bases as well. He is quite speedy.
And there's a pop-up into the infield, and that's going to do the first inning of the Royals' home opener. The Leafs, a couple of unearned runs, but still runs nonetheless, as I said, and they're now down 3-0 here on 2 hits for the Royals.
Left on base, and there were 2 errors in the inning.
So here comes the Royals defense here. Taylor looking to continue his 3-up, 3-down
2 people
ways.
happy birthdays. The first one is turning 11.
You can already see sort of how the weather has impacted the field today, as we have some grounds managers coming out and dumping as much dirt as they can possibly to clean it up, because it does just get tore up so easily on the base paths here.
Yeah, the grounds crew is putting more dirt around first base and third base. And you saw those 2 throwing errors by John Javier in the bottom of the first. You wonder if the dirt being too wet had something to do with it. He just tried to overcompensate on the second one. And, you know, as a baseball player, that's not a good feeling. You got to go back to the dugout, which I'm sure he's doing right now, and just regrouping, refocusing yourself.
And you just got to know those 3 runs are all on you. And that's just, it's a really tough thing and to think about, especially putting yourself down so early in this game.
Yeah, it's tough, but for Javier's sake, I do hope that he comes out here swinging.
Coming out to bat first here is John Javier. So he's going to look to right the wrongs that he's already had today. Grounds crew still working hard out on those base paths. Trying just to even out the surface just a little bit.
Yeah, John Javier is coming up, and he's looking to get redemption here and start a rally for his team in the top of the second.
Top of the second here at Hastings. Leading off for Toronto, the third baseman, number 77, John Javier.
So here comes John Javier. A couple of pitches here. And Jordan Taylor had a successful first inning for himself and looking to continue that.
You know, it seems all we're talking about are Javier's 2 errors in the first inning, but let's hope that he gives us something new to talk about here in his first at-bat of the day.
Strike 1 called, looked at right down the middle for Javier.
Javier was taking all the way there. He's got to be ready to swing for this 0-1 pitch.
And this time he was. And it's a deep fly ball, but J.D. Williams settles under it and gets the first out of the inning.
Now Javier nearly redeemed himself there, sent a deep fly ball out to center field. But even with that short fence in center, only 369, wasn't able to hit it out.
And so Justin Mara coming in, part of the Mara triplets, I like to say, even though they're not. The three brothers for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Dan Mara, Justin Mara, and also the pitcher, Adam Mara. Justin Mara, the catcher, batting fifth. He played in the Cubs minor league system as we look at strike one here for him. But the Cubs minor league system in 2012 to 2015, but also has found a home with his brothers here with the Maple Leafs. Strike two swinging. Just a bit early on that one. Mara down 0-2 quickly.
The Mara parents must be proud. I'm sure they're here in attendance today, watching their sons as they take on the Royals.
And it's hit to left field, and a great hit there over the second baseman. Hits it to the right spot of the ballpark, and he's on base quick. One out in the inning, and upcoming to bat for the Maple Leafs is going to be Marcus Necht, right fielder. He also has some minor league baseball experience with the Blue Jays and Twins, was also a part of Team Canada's World Cup of Baseball back in the day. 34-year-old right fielder, Marcus Necht. Was drafted in the third round of the MLB draft. So he's got loads of potential. But obviously, here now just trying to sustain his career. It's a breaking ball outside that's taken for ball one.
Last year with the Maple Leafs, in 139 at-bats, Necht hit .266 with 4 homers, 31 RBIs, and 21 runs scored. He's batting 6th here in the Maple Leafs lineup.
And that time he does find the corner of the strike zone there with his breaking ball. Is able to even the count at 1-1.
I'm not sure if Necht liked that call. I'm sure he would have preferred it to have gone his way. 2-0 is a good hitter's count, but here's the 1-1.
And strike two. High fastball there. Gets straight by Jordan Taylor, who was used to those breaking balls.
It's a 1-2 count here. You got to think Taylor might be looking to change Necht's vision here. Might go to the off speed, or will he stay with the fastball?
And strike three called. And Necht is not too happy about it. Slowly walking back to the dugout for the Maple Leafs, and that's now 2 down.
The second baseman, number 2.
Well, the umpire called the same pitch earlier in the at-bat. You can't be looking at that one for strike 3. I'm sure his coach cannot be too happy.
The umpire staying consistent with his calls there. But like you said and mentioned, he wasn't really happy about the first one, so I don't think he'd be happy about the strikeout as well.
Exactly, just too close of a pitch to take.
Trying to find that outside corner once again is Jordan Taylor, but he misses for ball one.
Taylor is really working the outside half of the strike zone here early on, trying to stay away from these powerful Leafs hitters.
And that's a strike in there for strike one here.
The batter is Spencer Ross, the 24-year-old from Mississauga.
And there's a wild pitch as Justin Mara is going to get into scoring position there at second base.
Last season, the batter Spencer Ross played for the Kitchener Panthers, had 100 at-bats, and hit .310 with 31 hits, 12 RBIs, and get this, more walks than strikeouts. Certainly got a good eye at the plate.
Played for the Lawrence Vikings in the NCAA. Spencer Ross looking to cash the man in on second.
That one is called low by the umpire.
It's 3-1. Advantageous count for the batter.
You see Spencer Ross already putting that good eye at the plate to work.
And he hits it down to the third base line. Been some issues there before, but It's out number 3 for the Royals. The top of the second goes their way as it's still scoreless for them.
No
As
runs,
Jordan Taylor
1 hit,
walks off pretty happy
1
with himself.
runner left on base. There were no errors in the inning. Fans, if you're
Jordan
Now-
Taylor gave up a base hit and nothing more in the top of the second inning, as the Guelph Royals will look to get more runs on the board here as we go to the bottom of the second.
all kinds of Guelph Royals merchandise.
Well, the winds died down a little bit here in David E. Hastings Stadium, and hopefully that'll add a little bit more consistency for the Leafs defenders here. They had a couple of rough plays in the infield earlier.
4 inter-county games going on.
Now, if only we can get some sun to peek through those clouds, it would be a beautiful mid-afternoon game.
At 6:05.
I don't know if we're ever going to see sun ever again, Jade. If the last 3 days has ever been is proven to be the case.
Yeah, the last 3
Used
days.
to the new norm.
Last 3 days saw cancellations across the Intercounty Baseball League in Southern Ontario. Thankfully today we were able to get underway on time. And barring some rain, we'll be finishing this game.
Yeah, looking at the weather report earlier today, I was thinking maybe there would be a 20-30% chance of rain 4 or 5 p.m. Hopefully this game can get concluded before that happens. Because I don't think anybody here wants some delays in this game.
The last people that would be wanting delays are the starting pitchers, Jordan Taylor and Josh Berenbaum. They're both pitching quite well despite some unearned runs for the Maple Leafs. But, you know, they're warming up before the game, doing their pregame routine. The last thing you want is a rain delay to mess that all up.
Well, it sort of messes with your whole rhythm that you have going out on the mound, right? If you have to sit down for 30 minutes, an hour to get the field all ready after some rain, it really does mess with that. And something to mention as well, none of these players got batting practice in. So we're seeing a fresh thing here as the third baseman, John Javier, really coming in here. I think they're weary of a bunt to that side or something. And fouls it back almost into the stands. Good thing we got that protective layer of
Yeah, that netting really does
netting,
wonders
there we go.
as Jordan Gallo takes a ball up and away. Gallo flashed the leather earlier today with that beautiful play over at second base. Looking to do something with the bat here.
That I'm not sure about. I can't answer that one for you.
All right, it's another high ball after the wild pitch just a second ago.
Hitters count here for Gallo.
Jordan Gallo swings and it's a foul tip back. Now it's a full count here for Jordan Gallo, another 18-year-old from Connors State University, starting at second base here from Mississauga, Ontario. And Gallo pops another one up.
May 18th, that Brantford Gallo got his first IBL hit as he looks for another one here, but he doesn't get
Inside,
anything to
gets the
swing
ball.
at.
So Gallo gets on base. And it's the first walk of the game issued by the Maple Leafs and Berenbaum.
And Gallo seems like a pretty speedy guy. Maybe we'll see some wheels here.
You
Test
think that's
out
got to
the
be in
arm.
the back of mind of Josh Berenbaum here. But I think you got to
Absolutely.
stay focused with the guy who has the bat in his hands.
Yeah, and that's the 9-hitter, Patterson.
Ashton Patterson, left fielder from Guelph University, so he's from Kitchener, but played his ball at Guelph and now is happily with the Guelph Royals now this season. And he's looking to advance that runner. And once again, we see Javier really come in at third base.
And you see the first baseman, Castaldo, is standing waiting for a pickoff throw. I don't know how serious he is about that or if he's just trying to get the runner at first to shorten his lead.
It's Another ball high. Ashton Patterson now in a 2-1 count.
Javier at third, still not giving any ground to Patterson. He's still worried about a bunt. Look as he's creeping in.
Run. Here comes a steal. In at second base, they got him. A great throw there from the catcher, Justin Mara, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Getting the stealing player for Jordan Gallo.
Well, that was very impressive. Mara throwing from the knees. Didn't even pop out of his crouch.
And there's another walk. So they replaced the man they just got stealing on first base.
So the Guelph Royals have now seen this arm strength from the catcher, Justin Mara. And that will certainly deter them from trying to steal. And obviously that was their 9-hitter, Patterson. He surely got speed, but I'd like to see if he tests the arm of Mara.
And so we're back to the top of the order here for the Royals. Tommy Hanger coming in to bat. As he rolls it over to second base, they're not going to be able to get the first man, but they do get Hanger at first. As he at least advances the runner to second base. So now there's 2 outs here, but a runner in scoring position. Josh Brenbaum hoping to get out of this one scot-free.
Number 8, J.D.
But it's J.D. Williams coming in to bat. That's a man you don't want to see in the batter's box. How is Brenbaum going to approach him?
Well, he's certainly going to be looking to work that outside corner like he was earlier in the game. Don't want to leave anything over the middle.
Brenbaum with the pitch and hits that outside corner. Williams having a talk with the ump after that one, but it was a nice pitch there by Brenbaum.
And there you go, hitting the outside corner, trying to stay out of the power alley of Williams.
And there's a pop-up, once again to the outside side of the plate. The shortstop caught in right field, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. Almost disaster once again for the Maple Leafs, but they're able to get out of it.
Another nice play from the Toronto Maple Leafs, this time from the right fielder, Marcus Necht. A nice sliding catch to prevent a run from scoring. That run from second easily would have come in should that ball have dropped.
And it seemed like there was at least a little bit of miscommunication between Rando Moreno and him in right field. And Rando Moreno ended up falling down and calling for it. But they were able to make the play Marcus Necht either way. And that's all that matters, really. So back out onto the mound for this 3rd inning is going to be Jordan Taylor. He's had a great start to his game. Definitely earned a couple more innings here starting.
Absolutely.
Really repaid that faith in him that they had to start for him to start this home opener.
Yeah, Taylor has kept that pitch count relatively low so far in this game, as he's out there for a 3rd inning.
And so what we thought might be a little bit of a bullpen day for the Guelph Royals might just turn into the Jordan Taylor show.
Well, you hope Taylor can at least give you 1 to 1.5 times through the order. That'll take you through about 4 innings or so, and then hand it over to the bullpen, you know. It's early in the season. They want to see arms throwing off the mound, throwing to live hitters. And that's likely what we're going to see after Taylor gets finished. I'm sure he may have a set pitch count. He may not. We didn't get a chance to speak to the manager before this game.
Well, and you know, the Royals have the arms capable of having a bullpen day. They've got Niall Windler, who played with the Minnesota Twins minor league baseball system. Edgar Garcia, who played for the Phillies, Rays, Reds, Twins between 2014 2021. Gaku Ueda, Arturo Alvarez, lots of great arms in the bullpen if it's needed, but Jordan Taylor's been really great so far. So coming into the box for the Maple Leafs, it's going to be Dan Mara. And first one inside. Almost hit Mara with that one, did Taylor.
Yeah, that one grazed the catcher's mitt, but A lot of balls to the backstop early in this game.
And another one, little inside, little high for Taylor. It's now 2-0 for Dan Mara. The oldest of the Mara boys played his ball at South Dakota State University and here with the Maple Leafs. And that's ball 3 once again inside. 3-0 count. What's your opinion on swinging 3-0, Jaden?
You know, if the manager gives you the green light, then you can go for it. Sometimes they'll do that to boost the confidence as Mara is hit by that one.
And Taylor, another pitch inside. Hopefully Mara's okay. Not what you like to see there at all. Hit him on the left shoulder, but at least it didn't go anywhere higher. That's sort of the best place you can get hit.
Yeah, even if Mara had the green light there, nothing to swing at as he's drilled on the arm. Seems to be okay. The first baseman for the Royals, Wilson, is checking on him.
So coming into the batter's box for the Maple Leafs is Dennis Day-Banning with a man in on first with no outs. And that's going to be a strike there. That's the Jordan Taylor we've seen so far today with a nice first pitch, getting quickly up in the count.
Jordan Taylor dropping that slider in for a strike on the first pitch of the at-bat. Not something you see too often from pitchers nowadays.
And Jordan Taylor gets him to bite, strike 2. And Del Banning doesn't think he went all the way around, but it's now an 0-2 count, and Jordan Taylor quickly back to how he was performing earlier. A nice breaking ball there. Lots of movement. And that one's a little bit high, trying to get Del Banning to swing at that one.
Taylor just trying to tunnel his pitches here, using the off speed to set Banning's eyes in a different spot and then blowing the fastball by him as there's a slider up and in that Banning fouls back.
Another hack for Banning. That time he made contact with it and is able to stay alive in the count. The count is 2-1 here. Dennis Day-Banning played with the Welland Jackfish, the Hamilton Cardinals. He's an IBL veteran as he hits it over to shortstop. Double play possibility as they get the man at second, throw it on to first, but just don't get Day-Banning. So it's a fielder's choice, and they get the lead runner.
Banning evidently very speedy. He's got the start in center field today for Toronto and hitting in the 9 slot. That guy's often one of your speedier players.
Is he able to erase a double play opportunity there for the Royals? So we're back at the start of the order here for the Maple Leafs. It's Ryan Dos Santos, the left fielder from Caledonia, Ontario. Still a man on first for Jordan Taylor. And that one just a little bit high, I think.
And you got to wonder if Banning is thinking about stealing here, as the first baseman is playing for a pickoff.
We just saw he has the legs for it, but he lets his teammate hack at it, and that's going to be a strike.
Dos Santos flashed the leather earlier with that sliding catch in the foul territory down the left field line.
And Dos Santos, we saw as well, has some speed of his own.
Oh, he sure does.
As that's ball 2. 2-1 now.
The third baseman playing even with the bag. Surely he's thought about the possibility of a bunt.
And it's ball number 3. Some fans in the crowd not happy with that one, but I think it was just a bit low there.
It was certainly a real nice pitch from Taylor. Didn't get the call.
So here comes the 3-1 stretch. Man on first. And that's strike 2 right down the middle. Thought about biting. Did Dos Santos. But now it's a full count. And anything can happen.
You see the third baseman is now backed up without the possibility of a bunt. Full count here to Dos Santos.
And a hack, but it's going to go just foul there. Had the distance to at least be a double.
Dos Santos just trying to protect the plate, foul off the ball, and force Taylor into making a mistake. Taylor hasn't given yet. Good at bat here from Dos Santos.
3-2 to Dos Santos. That one's outside, and he's going to walk on to first base. And now 2 men on for the Maple Leafs.
You can see Taylor just a little unhappy with himself there as he missed his spot by a few inches, but as they say, baseball is a game of inches. Taylor doesn't get that call to go his way as it was a few inches off the black. As here is Rando Moreno.
Rando Moreno from Monte Plata, Dominican Republic, 32 years old, played for the Giants in AAA. And he's going to take a hack here, and it's a bit wild, going to throw it down to third. Thinks wisely of it, does Matthew Ward. Just going to swallow the ball. Now 2 men on and in scoring position, only 1 out. And a huge, huge spot here for Jordan Taylor and the Royals. And now this is a situation where you have a really strong batter here. Do you walk Rando Moreno, maybe even intentionally here, so you can get that double play possibility?
That may have been the conversation there between the catcher and the pitcher for the Royals. It looks like they're going to let Moreno bat, as he's the 2-hitter, and behind him, they don't want to face Jordan Castaldo.
With the bases loaded.
Exactly. That's the benefit of having such a deep lineup. Castaldo, a legend of the IBL, they do not want to face him with the bases juiced, so they opt to pitch to Moreno.
Well, maybe pitch around him at least.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking, as they're looking to stay out of Moreno's power alley. Definitely looking to work the outside part of the plate.
Still only 1 out here on the top of the third. There's a hack, hit to center field. J.D. Williams to track, able to get to it. Tagging is from third. The throw's in, but he's safe. And the Maple Leafs get on the scoreboard. It was a great bit of running from Dennis Day-Banning, able to tag up from third base after it was a shallow center field hit.
Yeah,
J.D. Williams just a little bit too much to the right on the throw, and that was able to get Day-Banning as much space as he needed to get in with a run.
Yeah, a real shallow pop-up there. I was surprised that Day-Banning even took a chance, but
He's got the speed.
yeah, absolutely. He bolted for it, and the throw from Williams, like you said, was just maybe a foot or two offline, which was the difference. Baseball is a game of inches, as here is Jordan Castaldo.
And still a man on in scoring position. Castaldo leans back, ready for the pitch. That's strike 1 right down the middle to Castaldo.
I'm sure Castaldo was looking for something different there, as Taylor started him off with a slider that started outside but dropped right in the middle for strike 1.
Castaldo now. One of those batters who likes to move a lot of movement in him. Maybe he's a bit cold, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely wiggling the bat quite a bit. You see the shift that they're playing on Castaldo. The second baseman is quite far over there. The shortstop is trying to keep the runner close at second base, so he's not shifted as much. Castaldo takes a strike on the inside half. And I thought they were going to try to stay away from Castaldo, stay on the outside edge. But he just took one inside for a strike.
Well, he hasn't done himself many favors here, because a couple of nice juicy pitches, and he hasn't let the bat off his shoulders. And that time he does with a powerful hit. J.D. Williams tracking back, is able to fall under it and get the third out of the inning. So it's 3-1 after the sac fly there for the Maple Leafs. Royals still up, heading to the bottom of the third.
A run, no hits, 1 runner left on base, and there were no errors in the inning.
And so Jordan Taylor dodges a little bit of trouble there, as they're at 1 point, 1 out, second and third, but able to get around it. Probably has a couple more innings in him. But what are the Maple Leafs going to do with their pitching situation? We've seen at times in this game Berenbaum be a little bit wild. He is going to join out here on the pitching mound for the third inning. But he's going to look to have a cleaner inning than his first and even his second.
Well, Berenbaum obviously didn't have the first inning that he wanted, but I don't believe those runs were charged to him, as, you know, we go back to those 2 errors by Javier.
And it has just gotten chillier and chillier out here in David E. Hastings Stadium. I had to put my jacket on. It's getting a little too cold for my liking.
I'm sure the home plate umpire would have liked to be wearing a jacket today, as, you know, those uniforms are not terribly warm. You've got the gear underneath, but the hands and the arms can certainly get cold.
Your right fielder, number 11, Andy Leader.
So in comes Andy Leader for the Guelph Royals.
Berenbaum so far today, 2 innings, 2 hits, 3 unearned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout.
So that's ball number 1 to Leader.
And the pitcher, Berenbaum, is wondering where that pitch missed, as it looked pretty good to me. Not to the umpire, though.
Leader with 1 run, and he hacks at that one. 1 run so far on the season. He's batting 125. Only a couple of players on this Guelph starting lineup who have had hits this season. Just Leader, Takamatsu, Ward, and Gallo. And that's including today. And an appeal down to first base, but he didn't go. And that's now 3-1 here towards Andy Leader. And Leader takes that one there. Now it's full count for Andy Leader. Berenbaum with the pitch, with the deal. And strike 3 called. A good swing there, but isn't able to catch up to the rising heater of Berenbaum. And that's the one pitch I think he's had some success with, but also, you know, almost led a home run out to Takamatsu. So it's definitely his bread and butter, but maybe just put it a little bit higher each time to get those guys to bite.
You know, that belt-high fastball is the pitch that hitters love. You want to try to keep it at least above the belt, get it up around the letters where it may not be called for a strike, but you're not looking for the strike call on that pitch. You're looking for the swing and miss.
And that time, not quite a swing and miss, but as close as you're going to get to it there.
And boy, am I glad for the netting right about now. I don't have my baseball glove up here in the booth.
I forgot mine at home too.
Yeah. Oh. Might have needed to use my face there, as here's the 0-1.
Liam Wilson in the batter's box. Now it's 1-1.
That one called just outside by the home plate umpire, as Berenbaum is looking to get back in the strike zone.
Wilson from Ayr, Ontario. That's going to be another 1 wide, a little closer that time for Berenbaum. Liam Wilson now 2-1 count. 3-1 on the game for the Royals. Once again outside, he's getting closer each and every time with his pitch. That one a fastball trying to catch the outside corner, but now it's 3-1 for Wilson. And that time Wilson swings and grounds to the second baseman, and he is out. Good play there by the Maple Leafs, and now there's 2 out in the inning.
Your third baseman, number for Garrett Takamatsu.
So Takamatsu, who had the double that bounced off the outfield wall, hoping to continue that success. The birthday boy just turned 27.
And Takamatsu, hailing from North York, last year hit 287. There's a reason they have him right smack dab in the middle of this Guelph lineup.
And now Berenbaum can find that outside corner with the breaking ball. So Takamatsu gonna have to swing at those, and that one just a little bit high and outside.
And you can tell Berenbaum isn't too happy with the calls recently, as that breaking ball started inside, looked like it dropped over the plate.
I think all you're looking for is consistency, as it's another deep swing there. And the center fielder, all he can do is look up and see it fly. Home run for Takamatsu on his birthday. Now with the double, a home run. Almost both of them could have gone, as he extends the Guelph Royals lead to 4-1. All smiles for Takamatsu, as he crushed that one to center field. And that's going to earn Berenbaum talking with his coach, Bob Butler, coming out. Want to make sure what's going on. Takamatsu's had his number all day.
Now, Lucky, would you consider that a no-doubter?
I don't think there was any doubt within anybody. So, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, absolutely. The sound off the bat of Takamatsu. He's already 2 for 2. A double and a home run so far today. He's halfway to the cycle.
And two of the harder ones to get, too. Here comes Matthew Ward.
Matthew Ward looking to follow that up with some contact of his own. Ward last year for Niagara hit 271, 4 homers and 30 RBIs, so the power is there as he takes a ball inside.
And that's another ball just a little bit high there for Berenbaum. And now it's 2-0 to Ward. That one's in at the knees there for Berenbaum. Ward still yet to swing the bat. One hits the outside corner, 2-2 now, all even.
Berenbaum working real quick now, looking to throw off the timing of Ward. Look at Berenbaum already set by the time Ward looks at him.
And a weak foul ball there. Lucky to make contact with it was Ward.
And that could have been the topic of discussion in that mound meeting, is trying to throw the hitters more off balance with the pitcher's timing.
Just outside there, now full count. 2 out. Berenbaum looking to stop the bleeding here for his squad. And that's going to be a walk there.
The Maple Leafs were already headed off the field, some of them. You see, the third baseman and shortstop were convinced that one was a strike.
But also Ward was convinced it was a ball. He quickly went to toss out his hitting attire and get into his running attire. So in to bat, it's going to be Ethan Hammond, the DH from Toronto, the Deauville Spartans product.
Hammond, a big year last year, hit 304 over 92 at-bats.
And he's swinging hard but high. And the second baseman, once again, able to track it and get the third out of the inning. The bottom of the third ends and the third inning ends. 1-1 for both squads as a huge blast by the birthday boy Takamoto gets the scoring tied. Takamatsu.
For the Royals, their next baseball game after today is tomorrow afternoon at 2:05 as they travel down to Chatham, Kent to take on the Barnstormers. And then next Saturday, here at home, 1 p.m., London Majors are here.
still on the mound for the Guelph Royals is going to be Jordan Taylor. He's had a successful day so far. Just the one run so far in that third inning.
A real nice outing for Taylor so far today. 3 innings, just 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. It's ones across the board for Taylor, and that is more than okay when your offense is working for you.
Well, in the IBL, the offense is always working for you.
Yeah, there's been some high-scoring games recently.
Guelph being a part of a couple of them. Their first 2 games ending 7-0 and 8-1. Obviously not in their favor. It's good for them and their home fans to be a part of the winning side for this season for the first time.
I can personally tell you that the shrimp tacos and the Brussels sprouts are very good.
Chicken and waffles, man. As well as the broccoli bites, too.
Chicken and waffles?
At Dino's restaurant. It's a chicken and waffle sandwich. So messy.
So now into the 4th inning here. Royals still up with their 3-run lead.
Top of the 4th,
Now it's 4-1.
leading off for Toronto, the
For
third
Toronto, it's
baseman,
John
number 77,
Javier.
John Javier.
John Javier looking to redeem himself. You know, we always go back to those 2 errors from the first inning. It's hard not to, but Javier looking to pick up.
That's strike 1 for Javier. Jordan Taylor, once again, he just keeps getting into good, advantageous counts for himself quickly. He throws strikes quickly. Now it's 2-0, forcing Javier to swing at that one.
And Javier way out in front of that breaking ball. Didn't even come close to that one, but he's looking to shorten up and protect here with 2 strikes.
That one just a little bit low for Jordan Taylor.
The catcher Ward telling his pitcher, hey, good pitch. That was the pitch they wanted. Didn't get the swing, though.
Oh, and that's a strong hit there into the left field alley as Javier is going to get to second base with a stand-up double. A powerful hit there. I thought it was going to keep on rolling all the way to the 397 plaque.
Catcher number 9, Justin Mara.
Javier got a good piece of that one, and there was nobody covering second as he was on his way. I thought they might have had a shot as the left fielder cut that one off pretty early. Did a good job of not letting it get to the wall.
So it's Justin Mara now coming into the box.
Justin Mara, the catcher today.
Show and bunt, but pulls it back. Takes ball 1.
A season ago, Mara hit .255 over 110 ABs with 7 home runs. 7 homers and 110 ABs, that's a pretty good ratio. Looking for some of that power here.
And Mara lines it straight to the second baseman of the Royals. Good contact, just in the wrong place.
The right fielder number 4, Marcus Necht.
That's Jordan Gallo over at second base. Didn't have to move an inch for that one.
Here comes Marcus next. Another opportunity to cash in a run here.
Marcus Necht is another guy with power. 4 homers, 31 RBIs a season ago, over 139 at-bats. The 34-year-old hailing from Toronto. There's a step off there from Jordan Taylor, asking the catcher to relay the signs once again. There's a possibility they're using a second set of signs with the runner on second base potentially peeking in.
Whoa, swinging, and he hooks it just foul. That one goes over the fence, but in the foul territory. And that could have bursted this game wide open there.
Now
a
that
two-run
one,
home run for Marcus Necht, but
that
just
one
missed it.
had the distance for sure. About 10 feet to the right, he would have had himself a 2-run jack. That one got out of there in a heartbeat. I wish we had StatCast. I would have loved to see the exit velo.
I'll give you an exit velo fast. Really fast.
Looking to keep it between the poles here is Marcus Necht.
And a strike for that one on the outside. It's now a 2-0 count. So despite the power he's already displayed, he's still down 0-2. And once again, Jordan Taylor getting out quickly with the strikes. Oh, another one hammered to left field. And that one flies out of here. He keeps it between the poles and bursts the game wide open. 4-3 and a towering hit there by Marcus Necht. Just maybe a couple of milliseconds later on the swing, and that one is out of here.
Well, we were just talking about Necht's power. 4 homers, 31 RBIs a season ago. And there he is displaying it, putting 2 balls over the fence in the same inning. How often do you see that?
Number 2, Spencer Ross.
So in comes Spencer Ross for the Maple Leafs.
We've got ourselves a ball game here. 4 runs for Guelph, 3 runs for Toronto.
And outside gets the strike one.
I do wonder if Taylor is featuring 2 different fastballs here, the 4-seam and the 2-seam. It looks like he's got one working on the outside edge with a little bit of arm side run. It's a conversation I'd like to have with him after the game, as that one is high.
It's 1-1 even count here. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Jordan Taylor looking to end his day well here. I think 4 innings is probably all they'll ask of him. So if he can just get out there with the lead, that's what they'll take for sure.
Looks like the Maple Leafs kind of have his number in this inning. We've seen a number of hard hit balls. There was that one by Javier in the gap, that line drive to second.
And both of them after going down 0-2. And that one, the 2-seam runs right into the Maple Leafs player.
And you hear the fans beckoning him to get out of the way as he let that one drill him right in the bicep. Didn't seem to even feel it. Here's Dan Mara batting 8th today as we have a visit to the mound.
Conversation here between the catcher, pitcher, and the entire infield here.
As far as we know, it looks like they're leaving him in, but they want a meeting with the whole infield.
Gotta feel left out if you're the outfield, eh?
Yeah, you know, sometimes the outfielders will converge, but, you know, today it's cold. They don't want to have to move too much. Although some jogging would do them well.
J.D. Williams has had to jog a little bit here in this inning.
A courtesy jog, if
Yeah.
if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
That one was smoked out there by Marcus Necht. So here's Dan Mara, the 35-year-old from Toronto.
Any more damage, and I think Jordan Taylor is going to be pulled out of this game. He's looking to keep that from happening, maybe even get a double play here to get himself out of this 4th inning.
All of a sudden, the leash seems to have gotten very short for Jordan Taylor as he misses again, high and in. You gotta wonder if all the hard contact is getting to him. He's just trying to get back in the strike zone here.
The ball outside, and they're going to give it to him. Being very lenient with that outside corner for Jordan Taylor. So he's going to keep going to that well.
Mara didn't give any argument. He's got to have that pitch in his mind.
That one just a bit low.
That slider from Taylor just missed inside and down.
It's now 2-1 count. strike two. Got to relieve the bat from your shoulders now.
Mara's
If
got
you're
to be
Dan
swinging.
Mara.
Got to be protecting the plate here. Keeping the momentum going for the Leafs, who have one out and a runner on first.
And he swings, and that's a ground ball that Taylor wanted. Gets second baseman. Oh, but it just dribbles to first base, and it's a fielder's choice.
Mara was able to beat that one out. Not a whole lot of velocity on the throw from Taylor to second base or from the shortstop to the first baseman. Just not enough velocity on the throws to get him.
I don't know if they're playing it safe or what, but they allow Mara to get on base.
Well, you know, as a pitcher, that is one of the harder plays that you'll have to make, is getting a ground ball, spinning and throwing to second. You want to be sure-handed. You want to make sure that doesn't sail into the outfield.
So here's Dennis Dave Manning. And it's another inside pitch there for Jordan. Dave Manning, the speedster. We've seen him tag up here for the first run for the Maple Leafs in this game. That's going to be ball two.
Mara over at first base is dancing a little bit, trying to get in the head perhaps of the defense and of the pitcher Taylor. You see he started and stopped just now. We'll see if he wants to test the arm.
Taylor, another pitch, another ball. Now it's 3-0 to Dave Manning. Don't want to let him on base for free. Jordan Taylor just one out from getting out of this one. And that's going to be ball four to Dave Manning.
I don't think Taylor was a huge fan of that call, but it looked to be the right one. Just inside to Dave Manning as they turn the lineup over, as the manager is going to come out, and that is the end of the day for Jordan Taylor.
Here comes Dino Rumel out, and the infield's all in once again.
I'm sure the Guelph faithful will give a nice ovation to Jordan Taylor.
It was a great start to the day for Jordan Taylor, but the home run there really blew it wide open by Marcus Knecht, and he was never really able to regain his confidence. A couple of walks issued here in this fourth inning, and that's going to be the end of his day.
Yeah, things kind of just unraveled here in this inning for Jordan Taylor. He gave up that leadoff double to John Javier in the gap.
But they got most of what they wanted out of him anyway, right? They still have the lead. They're still, one out away, and then coming into the game for Jordan Taylor is going to be Arturo Alvarez, the Inglewood native, California. Used to play last year for the Western Oregon Wolves in the NCAA. Now he's going to get his chance to eat some innings up for the Royals. Arturo Alvarez is one of the imports for this Guelph Royals squad. So he's highly rated and valued by their squad as a reliever who can really get things done. And it's a big spot coming into the game is Alvarez as well, with 2 men on, 2 outs, in just a 1-run game.
Yeah, I'm on both rows. What? No, I'm not. Did I? Sorry. Just get out of there. That's what I'm doing wrong. Alvarez? Not a David? Nope. Oh, thank you.
So Arturo Alvarez just about to make his start in this game. So far this season, he's pitched 3 innings, let 1 run in on 4 strikeouts as well over those 3 innings. looking to continue that success here.
Alvarez, the 25-year-old hailing from California. In 2024, he threw 63 innings, pitched to a 4.00 ERA, 42 strikeouts and 18 walks. Alvarez here pitching to Ryan Dos Santos, the leadoff man for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So once again, there's some speed on the base paths here and in the batter's box.
First and second, 2 outs here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dos Santos looking to cash in.
And that's strike one. Dos Santos cut looking. Once again, a shift on for the left-handed Dos Santos. Second baseman playing towards the middle. It's fouled back up over the stanchion here.
Now what you really don't want if you're the Guelph Royals is to let Dos Santos get on base. Coming up next is shortstop Brando Moreno, the 2-hitter. And obviously if he gets on, you got the heavy hitter Jordan Castaldo. I'm sure those players are eager to get their chance here with runners on base.
That one just a bit low, finds it in the dirt. Is Matthew Ward. Arturo Alvarez trying to get him to swing for strike three, get himself out of the inning. But Dos Santos is a little bit smarter than that. That one, another one a bit wild. Now evens the count at 2-2, 2 out. Alvarez now going to have to challenge Dos Santos a little bit here.
Matthew Ward is getting some work in back there, having to block pitches in the dirt. Keep him from going by. You don't want those runners advancing.
And that's strike three, but it's dropped. Ward does get him out at first base, though, and that's going to end the fourth inning. A little bit of trouble here for the Guelph Royals, but they're able to escape it here thanks to Arturo Alvarez getting the strikeout in relief.
2 runners left on base. No errors in the inning.
So Guelph protects their lead.
Guelph 4.
It's 4-3, and they're going to come up to bat here in the bottom half of the inning.
As I mentioned, Guelph is in Chatham to take on the Barnstormers. Also on the slate, London at Kitchener at Jack Couch Park, and Hamilton is at Toronto down at Christie Pitts. Both of those games are at 2 p.m.
All of a sudden, it's getting really chilly here at David E. Hastings Stadium. You can feel the wind kind of blowing in from the outfield. Right about now, I wish I had one of those hoodies that you can see on the first base coach.
I think you can get those at the Guelph Royals shop.
Oh, I'll have a look after the game. Of course I'll have a look.
So starting out on the mound for the bottom of the fourth for the Leafs, it's going to be Berenbaum once again. Berenbaum trying to eat up that fourth inning, just like Taylor did.
And you gotta
Maybe
imagine
not the exact same way.
You gotta imagine Berenbaum is pretty cold right now. Like, that was a long half inning that the Maple Leafs were up to bat. Berenbaum, of course, he was happy that he's getting some more run support from his guys, but as a pitcher sitting on the bench for that long is not good for you.
Especially in this type of weather.
Oh, absolutely.
So in comes Jordan Gallo looking to capitalize off that. And the first pitch outside for Berenbaum. And that's going to be ball number 2, Berenbaum. Going to have to challenge Gallo with this pitch here. Don't want to go down 3-0. And Berenbaum continuing the quick pace here with his pitches.
And Berenbaum trying to throw off the timing of the young Gallo, just 18 years old. got his first hit in the IBL the other day, looking for another one.
Gallo pops it up on the infield. That's not really going to challenge Javier as he picks it up out of the air, and that's the first out of the inning.
The left fielder, number 50, Ashton Patterson.
So in comes Ashton Patterson.
Patterson, the left fielder today, is batting ninth, looking to get on base to turn the lineup over. Patterson down in that stance, takes one way high.
Brenbaum once again keeping the pace up. That one's another high one there. He likes his high fastball.
Sure does.
Brenbaum.
That is a small strike zone on Patterson.
Really doing a great job to shrink it up, keep that stance low.
Reminds me a bit of Joey Wendell, longtime
That's straight
Tampa
line.
Bay Ray. That left-handed batter down in that crouch, looking to get one out over the plate. That one's down for a ball.
So it's 3-1 here to the 9-hole hitter Ashton Patterson for the Royals. Looking to get on base here for free, but that's strike two, full count.
Patterson crowding the plate a little bit. Didn't like that one. It was just inside. That one is high.
Just a little bit high. A little bit of a hesitation for Patterson to throw his bat away.
Yeah, even
That is
Patterson
gonna be
himself wasn't sure about that one, but he will take first base to turn the lineup over. Here's Tommy Hanger, the shortstop.
Hanger still looking for his first hit of the season. The Texas Tech commit has not had the most success to start his year. One out, one man on for Hanger. That's going to be strike one on the outside part of the plate.
And that's a real big lead over there for Patterson. You ought to wonder if he'll test the arm.
Well, Mara's arm has been tested already. Oh, and that's a clean hit. It might just bloop in. And it does, the first hit of Tommy Hanger's career. But they got him at third base, trying to extend to third base and be able to get an opportunity for a sac fly.
And you know where that baseball bat is going after the game today? It's going in the fire pit. Broke the bat on that one, but was able to reach base as it just blooped in there to center field.
Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck to get yourself going, get yourself on the board. J.D. Williams up to bat now, 2 out.
Williams looking for a bit better contact here. Hopefully won't need to go get another bat.
Brenbaum eyes down, looking to get out of this fourth inning. Williams looks at strike one.
It's a much more conservative lead over there for Hanger. Doesn't really look like he's willing to test the arm of Mara behind the plate. He's only getting about 6-7 feet there.
That's going to be ball one. J.D. Williams into bat. Been a long time Guelph Royal. Just outside, that's going to be strike two.
And there are some children down the left field line in play. The umpires requested that they leave the field of play, to which they obliged. So we can get back to baseball here. It's J.D. Williams at the plate.
Good on the umpire for seeing him as a man goes, and Mara decides to swallow the ball and causes a bit of a fall. How often do you see that happen?
Well, misplays of the month, here we come.
Hey, he got the stolen base. I'm not sure if that was a misplay. He was just out so fast, he tripped out of his own feet.
Mara was unable to get a grip on that baseball. Didn't want to risk the throw sailing into center.
I bet Mara was hoping he did throw it down. Could have got him on the trip.
The check down to first base. The umpire said no swing.
So Tommy Hanger broke his bat to get on, tripped over second base, is on his first time at the base. Now he's taking a big lead off towards third, but that's going to be strike 3 to J.D. Williams. On a full count, Williams cannot believe it.
Williams, I think he's unhappy with himself there that
Yeah.
he didn't take a cut. The umpire called that one all day. He's been calling it all day.
So they leave Hanger on second base. As we head towards the 5th inning here, Royals still have a one point lead here. 1-run lead here on the Maple Leafs. But coming into bat to pitch here is Arturo Alvarez, continuing after the strikeout he got to get them out of the jam last inning.
And J.D. Williams is having a prolonged conversation with the umpire now. I don't know if it's in good or bad nature. The body language doesn't look great here, Lucky.
I'm surprised they haven't tossed him, to be quite frank.
Well, I guess we don't know the nature of the conversation. Maybe he's asking him what cologne he's wearing.
Could be anything. I doubt the ump's wearing cologne, though.
If
maybe,
you know,
maybe that's
you know.
Like, I didn't swing because I was too busy smelling your cologne.
If
What
you
is
know,
that?
you know. Blue Jays fans from those 15 and 16 playoff runs will know what I'm talking about. As John Gibbons once asked Josh Donaldson what cologne he's wearing, which led to quite the argument in the dugout. The pitcher Arturo Alvarez is back on the mound for the Royals. Alvarez spent the 2024 season at Western Oregon University, posted a 4 ERA over 63 innings.
Leading off for the Maple Leafs, the shortstop, number 17, Rando Marino.
So, Rando Moreno for the Maple Leafs, leading off this 5th inning, facing off against Arturo Alvarez, who's sort of a strikeout machine. Pitched 3 innings and a third, has 5 strikeouts already. And that's going to be hit weak lead there to second base. And that's the first out of the inning for the Maple Leafs.
And there's another baseball bat to add to the fire pit as Rando Moreno splits his bat in 2.
Something about the cold weather or something, I don't know. Makes the wood easy to
First
break.
baseman, number 5, Jordan Castaldo.
I'm sure Alvarez knows a thing or two about pitching in cold weather as he attended Western Oregon University prior to pitching for the Maple Leafs. He's now facing off against the first baseman, Jordan Castaldo.
Castaldo in. Patented stance, and he takes a big swing at that one, but it's out to left field. And it's a great play there to get the second out of the inning.
And just like that, the 2 and 3 hitters are down. It's just John Javier coming up to bat, the cleanup man.
Ashton Patterson just reined it over to his left there and picked
Third
up the ball
baseman,
out of the
number
air.
77,
It's going to be John Javier to try to extend this inning for the Maple Leafs. He had a big booming hit over Jordan Taylor earlier in this game that got him a double. Looking now to strike against Arturo Alvarez. Alvarez just outside and maybe even a bit low. Doesn't get Javier to bite.
They're shifting Javier to the pull side in the outfield, just about straight up on the infield.
J.D. Williams seems to be cheating a bit to that same gap where he hit it last time.
He sure is. They've learned from their mistakes, the Royals have. But that creates a big gap out in right center field if Javier sends one out there. They'll be running for a while.
There's a hit that gets caught in the netting. Almost went straight towards our faces. We forgot both our gloves.
Javier should be looking to the right center field power alley. If he hits one out in the triangle, they'll be running for days. He's going to foul another one off.
It back this time, hits the top of the roof.
Javier putting up a good fight.
Taking it out on the David E. Hastings Stadium with these foul balls. So 2 out, nobody on. Count 2-1. 1 and 2, sorry, for Javier. And he hits it down to third base. Trying to beat it out. Bobbled, but gets it back and swings it over to first base. And that's going to end the top of the 5th inning for the Maple Leafs.
Takamatsu almost let go of the handle on that one. Recomposed himself through to first base in time. Javier got an off-speed pitch. He had to wait on it. Got a little bit out in front. If he had a little better timing on that one, he might have seen that one go over the shortstop, but he kind of rolled that one over to third. Easy play for Takamatsu, who's had quite a busy day today on defense and on offense.
So now exactly halfway through this baseball game. The Royals are up 4-3 against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're looking for their first victory on the season. Maple Leafs looking for their second. And still out on the mound for the Maple Leafs is Berenbaum. So you wouldn't have expected at the beginning of the game, but Berenbaum's gotten a longer leash than Taylor has.
Yeah, a real nice outing so far for him. Only has 1 earned run. The only thing is you'd like to try to keep the walks to a minimum. Berenbaum with 4 walks as opposed to 3 strikeouts so far today.
Well, I think that sort of speaks to the depth of the Royals' bullpen as well, where they're sort of like, yeah, we got a decent amount of innings by Jordan Taylor, but we know we have faith in our bullpen arms, and we're going to bring him in when we need to.
Absolutely, as
it's popped up there by Leader.
Yeah, the 3-hitter, Andy Leader, pops that one foul. Leader 26 from Kitchener as he drives one into the gap in right field. Caught.
Rangy play there by the Maple Leafs right fielder to pick that one out of the sky. Hey, it's Marcus Necht with a great play.
And Necht with a nice catch, ranging to his right. I thought that one was bound for the gap, but Necht does a great job of tracking it down. As here is the cleanup hitter for the Guelph Royals, first baseman Liam Wilson. Wilson is 30 years old from Kitchener. In 2023, he played for the Kitchener Panthers and hit .323 over 133 at-bats.
That's strike 1 in there for Liam Wilson. Berenbaum continuing his great outing outside of the first.
I would say Wilson is one of the more dangerous bats across the IBL with 13 home runs in 2023, 45 RBIs, and more walks than strikeouts. A great hitter to have in the 4 slot.
Wilson pops it up there. Is it going to bloop in? A nice, almost made play there by the shortstop looking over his back shoulder. Wasn't able to pick it. And that's going to be a hit for Liam Wilson.
Your third baseman, number 4, Garrett.
So Liam Wilson gets his first hit of the season as well. And Takamatsu already has a double and a homer. Looking to add to his historic day on his birthday.
There's going to be a mound visit for Toronto as they will discuss how to pitch to Takamatsu, who, like I said, is already halfway to the cycle. Takamatsu with a double off the center field fence and a no-doubter. He's got a runner on first here. He looks to do more damage for the Royals.
And are they leaving Brenbaum in? They will do. At least for one more batter. Brenbaum looking to get the most out of Takamatsu.
And we saw Wilson drop that single just past the shortstop. We'll see if Takamatsu can get some better power. Better contact, I should say, as he doesn't offer at that one.
Thought about it. But
Sure
didn't
did.
go.
They're going to ask for an appeal at first base. There was no swing. Pretty late appeal there made by the pitcher.
Yeah, I think a little hopeful for that one. As Takamatsu takes a big hack, this one might bloop in. The second baseman ranging over, and it does. Back-to-back bloop singles for the Royals.
And Takamatsu, now he just needs a triple to complete the cycle. What do you think is the likelihood of that happening?
Well, I think he's going to need something to happen in the outfield for that to be the case. Or maybe it gets stuck under the outfield wall or something.
Definitely wants to hit it to either the left or right center field gap where
It's possible.
it gets close to 400 feet out there. Here for the Royals is the catcher, Matthew Ward. Runners on first and second with one out.
Brenbaum looking to offer, slowing down his pace here in this 5th inning. And that's going to be the first strike of the at-bat.
Brenbaum starts Ward off with a fastball on the inner half. Ward is batting 6th today. 23-year-old from Mississauga.
Ward doesn't offer at the ball in the dirt by Brenbaum, and that's going to be a 1-1 count. Ward looking to extend this Royals lead. Just a 1-run lead now after it being as high as 3. And this one, another ball in the dirt, this time by Brenbaum.
A great block there by Justin Mara to prevent that one from going back to the backstop. You really need to prevent these runners from advancing. Keep the double play in order. That is a heck of a play there by Mara.
And another one in the dirt. 3-1 the count now to Ward. Brenbaum, 3 straight balls.
The fans are getting
Does
a
not
little
want to load the
noisy
bases.
here at David E. Hastings.
A little bit of chirps here.
That one
By
is
the-
sent a long way.
One particular fan in the crowd.
You know, if I get back to the parking lot and my car has a hole in the windshield, we know where that one came from. It was off the bat of Ward.
And that's a walk issued by Brenbaum, and that might just end his day.
That's going to load the bases, and the manager has made the call to the bullpen. Josh Berenbaum, a nice outing here. Leaves the bases loaded.
Just one out here in the bottom of the fifth. The crowd getting into it here. They know how just a big of a moment it is right now. They can blast this game wide open with a good hit here.
As the manager takes the ball away from Berenbaum, who had himself a nice outing. His teammates are waiting for him at the top step of the dugout, looking to congratulate him with handshakes and hugs. As the left-handed pitcher is coming in for the Leafs.
I think it's going to be Adam Mara into the game for the Maple Leafs, the third Mara brother, getting his chance to deal with the bases loaded situation.
Is that going to be a Mara battery? Justin Mara behind the plate. And potentially Adam Mara
What's
on
a
the
Mara
hill.
Mara battery?
Well, you got the pitcher
Yeah.
and the catcher, both brothers.
Uh-huh. What does that mean?
Battery means a pitcher and a catcher.
Now pitching for Toronto, number 36, Adam Mara.
It is going to be a Mara battery. Adam Mara pitching to his brother, Justin Mara behind the dish.
For calling, guys. It's fine.
So Adam Mara, the 30-year-old from Toronto, Ontario, the youngest of the Mara brothers, 5'8", 160, from Mount Mercy University is where he played his college ball, but similar to his brothers, has played with the Maple Leafs for quite a long time.
Yeah, last year, Mara for the Maple Leafs pitched to a 3.48 ERA over 20.2 innings, 9 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 17 hits. So it's safe to say Mara is more of a contact pitcher. He certainly pitches to contact.
And he's going to want some contact here for a double play possibility.
Certainly, they're going to want to keep the ball on the ground as the middle infield are playing to double play depth. You got to think if he hits one on the ground to the corners, it'll be coming home.
Ball one from Mara.
Mara with that funky southpaw delivery.
Oh, just off the fingertips of the shortstop for the Maple Leafs, and that's going to score a run.
And Moreno timed his leap perfectly. That one just out of his reach. It hit the tip of his glove and bounced into shallow center.
Second baseman, number 23, Jordan Gallo.
Now, luckily for Toronto, only 1 run scored, but here's Jordan Gallo, the 8-hitter for the Royals, coming up here with the bases loaded again.
Moreno still in a crouch, just got out of it. Got to forget that last play and regroup. If he catches that, that could have easily been a double play and got them out of the inning, because I think a lot of Guelph players were kind of cheating there to get to home
Certainly, could have been double play, but there's nothing you can really do about that play. Just got to move on, as there's a block by Mara, the catcher, as Mara, the pitcher, throws one in the dirt.
And it's a bloop into center field, but a nice play made there to keep it out of the air. Dennis Day Banning with the speed loses his hat on the way, but keeps the baseball. And nobody tags up for the Royals.
Number 50,
So it's going to be 2 outs here for Ashton Patterson, and the base is loaded.
The runner on third did not even challenge Banning's arm, even though he was a little off balance making that catch. The runner thought otherwise. as here's the 9-hitter looking to turn over the lineup.
Patterson hacks. It's down the third base line and it drops fair. That's going to score 2 runs. Quickly here, and then all of a sudden this game is wide open. 7-3 for the Royals.
Patterson just puts them where they are not. Drops the ball into shallow left. The runners are moving on contact as there are 2 outs. 2 runs easily come in to score. And now it's Tommy Hanger, the leadoff man, who gets the bat with runners on first and second.
And not the result you would have wanted if you're Adam Mara in this game. You come in with the bases loaded, let 1 run come in off of a unexpected play there where your shortstop just misses it, and then a bloop single to get 2 runs in. You just got to forget about it. I don't think any of them were earned by him, but still got to feel some type of way about it, as once again this one's straight to center field. Hanger with a deep ball, but it's going to be caught by the center fielder. That's going to end the bottom of the 5th for the Guelph Royals, but they score 3 in that inning, extending their lead by 3 to 7-3 here in the bottom of the 5th.
No errors in the inning. We go to the top of the 6th. Guelph 7, Toronto 3. Fans, we invite kids to run the bases at the end of this inning. If you would like to run the bases, please meet by the Guelph Royals dugout before the bottom of the inning.
Running the bases doesn't sound too bad right about now. It's still chilly here in Guelph.
But you have seen the clouds sort of lighten a little bit, at least throughout the day. A little more light shown onto this wonderful David E. Hastings field.
Beautiful ballpark. The fans get right into the action. As we saw earlier, some fans actually wandered onto the field. But yeah, just a beautiful facility all around, and a great turnout by the Royals faithful here today. Lots of fans in the bleachers, fans lining down the baselines.
And that's what I love to see, is just the fans using all the spaces possible, bringing out their lawn chairs, making a day of it, you know.
Yeah. No better way to spend your Saturday afternoon than at the ballpark.
It seems just like a great community atmosphere behind everything. And
Absolutely.
great to see this team in this league successful.
Absolutely. The Guelph fans rallying behind their pitcher, even heckling the opposing pitcher. Calling him some names I will not be repeating on the broadcast. But here, leading off for Toronto, is the catcher, Justin Marr.
Now ball down low.
In 2022, Alvarez was named to the first team All-Region in the ABCA. Was also named GNAC Pitcher of the Year, GNAC Newcomer of the Year, and to the first team of that league as well.
So Arturo Alvarez has a little bit of a nickname with the rest of the Royals roster. They call him Turtle. Arturo Alvarez. You can see the name there, and you know, you could say there's maybe even a little bit of more of a connection there. He's a defensive player as a pitcher. Turtles, you know, all about their defense, their strong shell.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that was brought on by some of the other Latino players that the Maple Leafs feature. Ryan DeSantos, Rando Moreno, John Javier. Lots of Latin influence on this Maple Leafs ball club, or the Guelph ball club rather.
Arturo Alvarez just outside with that breaking ball, that slider. Count is full. Mara with the hack. Keeps this at bat going.
We've been losing a lot of baseballs recently. I'm sure we'll find a couple in the parking lot after the game. Lots of good at-bats, though. Fouling off lots of pitches. Coaches love to see that. Try to force the pitcher into making a mistake. The full count pitch from Alvarez coming up.
And hot, but great play there by the first baseman to pick it off the floor and get the out on Mara. Quick reaction time there to steal a base hit away from Mara and the Maple Leafs. Liam Wilson with the quick reaction there at the hot spot on first base.
Yeah, Wilson hit the ground real quick. Good hands there to keep that one in the mitt. Gotta have good hands as a first baseman.
So in up to bat is Marcus Necht for the Maple Leafs. He had those two booming hits last time he was up to bat. He really likes to pull the baseball. That's going to be strike one.
We see Alvarez working the outside corner, gets the call to go his way. Next needs to keep that in mind as he looks at the 0-1. Cut and a miss on the off speed as looked like Necht was just out in front of that one, not expecting it. And now Alvarez can play with him a little bit as he's up 0-2.
Alvarez, another good one. Almost hit a fan.
Yeah, he's lucky that the kids down there have baseball gloves on. You know, I wish I had one, but hopefully one of the kids got a nice souvenir. As Necht pulled that inside fastball, that's what you want to do with it, but wasn't able to get it in fair territory.
And strike three, Arturo Alvarez has been dealing today. Now that's 2 innings scoreless for him, including dodging a couple of super tight situations, and Arturo Alvarez another strikeout.
And Marcus Necht with a real slow walk back to the dugout as he is unhappy with himself. Just wasn't able to shorten up and make contact on that fastball. It was a little higher up, but that's exactly where you want it from Alvarez. Just a great pitch.
So Spencer Ross coming in. Lawrence Vikings product. Alvarez with the pitch just outside.
Alvarez missed off the outside corner there. Again, trying to stay away from these Maple Leafs hitters.
Alvarez with the stretch.
Spencer Ross may not feature the most power in this lineup as he fouls one off, and there's another souvenir for the kids. But he sure does get on base. .310 average last year with Kitchener. More walks than strikeouts. Got a great eye at the plate. 31 hits and 100 ABs. That'll play.
That's going to be strike two. So one thing that is just great that the Royals do offer is that for these kids that do collect the balls, as there's another strikeout there by Arturo Alvarez ending the 6th inning, but I was saying they let these kids get a little bit of refreshment, trade their ball in for a freezy.
Now I got a question for you, Lucky.
Yeah.
Would you trade that baseball in for a freezy?
Right now I wouldn't. Right now I would definitely not trade it for a freezy. I'd hide that in my back. Oh, you have to? Oh, okay, I see.
Freezy or candy, I think.
Freezy or candy? I would take candy right now.
Yeah, I would ask for a hot chocolate. Wonder if they serve those up at the concession stand. But obviously, baseballs are a limited resource as the kids are coming down to run the bases here.
Another great thing that the Guelph Royals offer the kids to run the bases here in between the 6th inning.
Just a great atmosphere overall. All these little tidbits, these things that the Royals do for their fans.
So a new pitcher coming in for the Leafs here. It's number 30 for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Believe that is going to be Sebastian Rodriguez, hailing from the Dominican Republic. Former Pittsburgh Pirate farmhand.
So after Mara gave up a couple of runs there in the 5th, only relieving them with 1 out, they're bringing in a new pitcher entirely, Sebastian Rodriguez, to try to take them the rest of the way, or more of the way at least. Trying to stop the bleeding here. Still waiting on those kids to run those bases.
I'm not sure if it's going to happen now or after the end of the inning.
And just looking at Justin Mara throw the ball over to second base from his catcher position, just so effortless. Like, he just has a cannon of an arm. We saw it earlier as he caught the Royals stealing. But he just has such a cannon. It makes the decision to steal that much harder for the Royals in those situations. And it's J.D. Williams up to bat for the Royals. Fan favorite J.D. Williams.
As Sebastian Rodriguez takes the mound here for the Maple Leafs. Rodriguez is a very interesting pitcher. Spent 2 seasons in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization.
Rodriguez with the first pitch. Quick inside there for Williams. Able to dodge it though. For ball 1.
Rodriguez spent the 2022 season with the Pirates, pitched to a 3.77 ERA, as that one is a shot up the middle. Lucky Rodriguez got out of the way.
J.D. Williams with a hot single up the middle.
That's one thing we need at this ballpark is StatCast. I would love to see the exit velo on that one. Like you said, it's pretty fast. Here's Andy Leader.
Looks like we got a pinch runner in for Williams. Coming into the game for J.D. Williams.
Pinch runner? Who's the pinch runner?
Nathan Bell is coming into the game for J.D. Williams.
Nathan Bell.
From San Jacinto College, the 18-year-old from Brampton, Ontario. The right-handed batter, gonna run the bases for Williams.
Number anyone?
12. And he is stealing right off the gate. And just a little bit off there with the throw is Justin Mara. As the decision to get a pinch runner in is probably the right one, as stolen base runner in scoring position here. Already for Andy Leader.
You see Bell running on the first pitch. Obviously he's got wheels, and that's the reason why they made that change. Bell attended the Toronto Blue Jays Canadian Futures Showcase. So he's clearly got some experience, despite being just 18 years old.
And a hot shot to shortstop. And the Leader isn't able to run it out, as that's the first out of the inning. Not able to advance the runner, Bell. Next up to bat is Liam Wilson for the Royals. Another opportunity to bring in a run.
Liam Wilson.
Wilson just looking for a base hit here. That should be enough to cash in the runner Bell from second. They're playing him straight up on the infield, straight up in the outfield. Wilson can hit the ball to all fields, which is reflected in the Maple Leafs defensive alignment.
That one just outside for ball one.
Rodriguez spent 2024 in the Puerto Rican Winter League. Pitched to a 4.91 ERA over just 3.2 innings, so didn't get too much action down there in Puerto Rico.
Sebastian Rodriguez with the throw. And it's popped up and over. Whoa, almost hits a fan of the crowd. Luckily they were able to evade. Now the count's 1-1.
Rodriguez, though, in the 2021 season in the Pittsburgh organization, pitched to a 3.19 ERA over 31 innings pitched. Walks have always been an issue for him, but so far so good.
And that's going to be a strike right down the middle for Rodriguez, 1-2. Swing, and this time it's going to advance the runner. But it's still out at first. As Bell took a big turn there at third base. Thought about sneaking by.
And up comes Takamatsu, 3 for 3 today. He's looking to go 4 for 4 on his birthday. What a birthday that would be. What a birthday it is already for Garrett Takamatsu. He's got a single, a double, and a home run. And I don't know if there's such thing as jinxing the cycle, but I will not be doing that today. If I haven't already, as he fouls off the first pitch, a little dribbler off the bat down the right side.
I think if you're Takamatsu, all you have to be thinking about is scoring that guy at third. You know, sure, that might be ringing in the back of your head, but the most important thing is getting that guy home.
And you've got a nice big gap up the middle. You got to think if he can put one past the pitcher, it's going to get into center field.
Bell dancing around there at third base. Foul tip there. Strike 2 on Takamatsu.
Takamatsu now looking to shorten up. Rodriguez features an arsenal with a variety of pitches. You got to be ready for anything. 2 strikes here on him. I would say sit fastball, but be ready for the off speed. Try to force him into a mistake.
And way high there for Rodriguez. Takamatsu now worked a 1-2 count. 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Bell still on third. Takamatsu with a high fly ball near third base line. The shortstop ends up covering it and grabbing it. The third baseman overcompensated there.
That's a nice play there by Rando Moreno, the shortstop, who had a better angle on that ball. The third baseman pretty much had to go straight back, and you don't really want Javier to have to make that play. Good on Moreno for making that play. Obviously, if the left fielder can get there, that's usually his ball, but evidently DeSantos couldn't get there, as we've got a race here.
And there they go.
The second out, was it the third baseman who did the put out the first, or was the shortstop again?
Shortstop.
And Red Hoodie is out to an early lead. Crossing home plate as some are just reaching it. He scores.
Now, there are a lot more kids here than I thought. This has been a great turnout for the Guelph Royals and their fans. It's great to see the kids getting involved in these games. You see, so many of them are wearing baseball pants and baseball uniforms. as a crowd is forming at home plate. I think they're all going to be called safe here.
Running up the score.
This is just great to see, and I hope that more teams across the IBL do this, like the
How
Royals.
can you see this and not smile? They're just so, it's so nice. Just kids running the bases, having fun at the ballpark. Just got a couple more now, just need to cross home plate.
What really gets me is all the children wearing baseball pants here today. Just shows how engaged they are, how happy they are to be so close to the action here at Hastings Stadium. As you've got the final two children looking to cross the plate.
How cute is that?
It's amazing.
Now we got the 7th inning to play here.
Props to the Guelph Royals for doing that. A great gesture by the team. Great way to keep the fans, and especially the younger fans, involved in the game. As we look to get through one more half inning before the 7th inning stretch.
And it's still Turtle Alvarez on the mound here in the 7th inning.
Property of the Guelph Royals. Please kindly return them if you get one.
And number 12 has stayed in the game at center.
Arturo Alvarez is back on the mound for the Guelph Royals.
He's had a great day. He's had 2 1/3 innings of work so far. Never even a single issue with him so far. Couple of strikeouts. Couple of nice flashes of the leather.
I guess baseball's a pretty big thing out there in California. That's where he's from. Obviously, spent some time at Western Oregon University last season. 63 innings pitched for them.
Yep.
Top of the 7th. Guelph leading 7-3. Leading off for Toronto. The designated hitter, number 6, Dan Mara.
Dan Mara is coming to the plate here to lead off the top of the 7th. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, it'll be 8-9-1 coming to the plate against Arturo Alvarez, who has just been mowing down these Toronto hitters. Has not allowed a run.
Ball 1 here. And interesting to see J.D. Williams on that side of the second base with a right-handed batter in.
Yeah, it looks like he's expecting him to push the ball a little bit if he does get it in the air.
That's a nice pitch there. Locks him up a little bit. Locks up Mara.
It's most likely due to Alvarez's fastball. He can get it up there. We don't have a radar gun on hand, but
A little bit of run as well, as that's going to
Yeah.
be the second ball here. Looking for the strikeout, not able to get it.
yeah, so I guess that's what they're thinking. If it's hit on the ground, it's likely to be rolled over to the left side. If it's in the air, it's likely to be pushed. As I was wrong, and there's a grounder to first off of the body of the first baseman, Wilson.
Still, sometimes it can bounce a little weird, especially with how the base path has gotten a little bit mucked up.
Center
It
fielder,
can take a
number
weird bounce,
19,
and it seems like
Dennis
that's what happened to
Pathetic.
Wilson there, as he's not able to corral it.
Yeah,
Get the first out.
That one certainly took a hop, but Wilson just wasn't able to keep it in front of him. If he had knocked it down, it would have been a play for him. Maybe the pitcher covers first, but that one corralled all the way. out to the second baseman's area.
So ball number 1.
So this is the 9-hitter for the Toronto Maple
And
Leafs.
stay banning in the speedster, as we've already mentioned. He's made some couple of great plays in center field. Tagged up, obviously, earlier in the 3rd inning. He
There's a
fouls one
foul
back,
ball.
and hopefully the catcher for Guelph is okay.
It's going to be Guelph's catcher. Matthew Ward is down, and he needs a minute. You never want to see that. The umpire's going to go out, have a chat with Alvarez to give Ward some time.
Not entirely sure what happened to Ward.
Well, it was foul ball. Looks like it got him. Obviously, from our vantage point, we can't see where it hit him.
Exactly where.
We can only hope that it was on the thigh.
Still, thigh is super painful,
It
no
is.
matter what.
But in that situation, as a catcher, it's probably the best place that you could get hit.
I feel like you'd rather it hit your cup, right?
That's
'Cause
hard to say.
You have the protection there.
It is hard to say, but with Alvarez throwing, it's got to be close to 90 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It's going to hurt either way.
for sure.
But thankfully, Matthew Ward is okay, and we are ready to resume here.
1 man on. No outs yet for Turtle Alvarez. Pitches outside and gets the strike called.
It's a bit of a generous strike call there by Mr. Umpire. That one looked like it was off the black, but gives the call to Alvarez and maybe more importantly to Ward. The 1-2.
Good cut. Good pick at third base to get the out at first. Great play there.
It's a real
By
nice play
third
by the
baseman.
birthday boy, Takamatsu.
Takamatsu.
Took that one on the short hop. Exactly what you want to do.
The left fielder, number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
Here's the leadoff man now for the Maple Leafs, Ryan Dos Santos, who doesn't realize that his jersey is untucked in the back. Dos Santos comes up with 1 out and a runner on second.
Nope.
Now the umpire is going to call over the manager of the home team, the Guelph Royals.
Having a quick conversation. I don't think it's about the
Well, you
jersey in
see,
the back.
I doubt it, but
It's the kids hanging off the back there.
looks like we just had a member of the Royals.
All the kids are hanging off the back fence.
We just
I
had a
see.
bullpen catcher for the Royals and a pitcher run out there to the bullpen in left field. They're getting somebody loose, just in case Alvarez isn't able to finish.
Some kids hanging over the outfield fence there in left field. Don't want them to get hit. So they go down. And that's strike number 1.
Ryan DeSantos was not happy with something. I don't think it was the strike call. Maybe he wasn't ready for that pitch, but he was asking the umpire after the pitch about something. He's
1 out,
ready
1
now.
Strike. Strike number 2.
That's in there, and DeSantos doesn't look like he wants to swing early in this at bat, but he's got a duck on the pond. He's going to want to cash him in. The second baseman playing deep in the hole. DeSantos looking at the 0-2. Real nice block there by the catcher.
Matthew Ward with a great play there at the catcher spot.
Yeah. If that ball gets by, DeSantos could hit a fly ball in the air. That run would score from third, so that's a huge play from Ward to keep them at bay.
1-2 count. Turtle Alvarez biding his time. Throws it just a bit low under the knees, and now it's back to even.
Ward doesn't have to block that one. He was able to catch it, which is what you want to do if you were able to, obviously. You don't want your knees to hit the dirt if you don't have to. As here's the 2-2.
And a cut there. And it's fair, just by about a foot. And that's going to score a run for the Maple Leafs. Into second, though, is the throw, and it's bobbled. And he's in there safe at second. Could have had him if you didn't bobble it.
Yeah, the throw beat Dos Santos there by quite a bit, but just bobbled out there by the
Jordan
second
Gallo.
baseman, Gallo. The throw had him by about
Shortstop, number
solid 10,
17,
15 feet.
Randall Marino.
Sometimes your brain is going quicker than your body, and you
It
just want to
is.
get that ball over together, and you don't even realize you forgot the ball.
Exactly. Baseball's always the first priority here. As here's the shortstop, Randall Moreno. Just switched places with Dos Santos.
That's strike number 1.
Strike one on the outside edge.
Loves working that outside edge, does
Yeah.
Alvarez.
Moreno does not like the call, shaking his head. The umpire has been generous today.
Ball a bit low by Alvarez once again. One ball, one strike, one out in the top of the 7th.
And you see the center fielder again shifted to opposite field just a little bit,
Yeah.
anticipating a fly ball the other way due to the high velocity as that one is pulled foul by Moreno. One ball and 2 strikes to the Maple Leafs shortstop. Who's got that bright pink arm sleeve on.
And it's cut on. Raging over is the first baseman. Is he going to get there? Not in time as it lands with the fans. Somebody's just got themselves some candy.
Any candy in particular you'd exchange a baseball for?
Well, I'd exchange a baseball for any type of candy.
Any type of
The sweet
candy.
tooth.
Mm.
Oh yeah. But those, have you seen those new Sour Patch Kids drinks?
I haven't.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. A little too sour for me, I think. But that's cut on deep left field. Right field there, and play is made. 2 outs now.
Dos Santos does not risk testing the arm of Leader out and right. There's a shallow pop-up. He wasn't going to make it to third. As here's the first baseman for the Maple Leafs and the 3-hitter, Jordan Castaldo, looking to do some damage.
Castaldo's going to be tasked with bringing that man home from second. 2 outs here. An opportunity to cut the lead to 2 for the Maple Leafs. Here in the last 3 innings, not a lot of opportunities left.
Castaldo wearing the high socks today. Steps into the box against Arturo Alvarez. Again, the outfield playing him slightly the other way.
That's in there for strike 1. Good position there, and Castaldo, he's being tentative to swing the bat early in these counts today. And once again, Alvarez takes advantage of that.
Yeah, Alvarez, lots of first pitch strikes. That's exactly what you want if you're the manager of the Guelph Royals. Gives him more leeway to play with his off speed later on, as that one's driven to left center. Hangs up there, and it's caught by the left fielder, Ashton Patterson, to end the inning.
And that's a situation where the shift really works out for them. He pushed the ball, and Williams was there able to cover. Obviously, Patterson's the one who gets
Exactly.
it, but
They
they're both
predicted
there
that
available.
one.
It's 7th inning stretch time, people.
Time for the 7th inning stretch.
Let's hope the bathroom is free. It's playing, it's just so low. That guy gives more volume.
Well, they say they did, but the problem with it is it's regulated so that we can't even control the sound, nothing.
Yeah, and this song is just very low level.
David
started singing. Yeah, yeah. Had a quite lengthy conversation with the mayor.
Okay, fans, I have a 50-50 ticket draw number. The following number is 166703. 166703. If you have that number, go down to the where they sell merchandise and you can get your reward. 703. Yeah.
So Alvarez is hitting. David Alvarez is hitting for
Leading
Ethan
off
Hammond
the Guelph at the
coming up.
bottom of the seventh, the catcher,
So,
number 10,
Sebastian
Matthew
Rodriguez still
Ward.
on the mound here for the Leafs. And comes in is Ward. Bottom of the 7th year. 7-4 for the Guelph Royals. Strike one there by Rodriguez. Rodriguez from the Dominican Republic. The right hander, 6 foot tall. That one's just a bit low with the ball. 1-1's the count for Rodriguez. And Ward not looking at that one. It's now 2-1.
I'm gonna go to the City Hall on Monday. Emails.
Rodriguez deals and gets another strike there. It's now even at 2-2. It's Matthew Ward here for the Guelph Royals. Looking to get on base here. And he cuts, and it's up and over. Super high fly ball over to the kids. Once again, a candy souvenir. Ward just giving them out.
He's sending him on quite the journey for that one.
Yeah.
Wonder if that one will be found.
And that's strike 3 called on Ward. Ward walking back unhappily there. That's the first out of the inning. A strikeout there for Sebastian Rodriguez. Incoming the game is a pinch hitter. Ethan Hammond is out of the game. David Alvarez is coming in for him. David Alvarez played for the Brantford Red Sox, obviously before, now playing here with the Royals from Mississauga, Ontario. The 21-year-old is looking to get a hit.
That's a big cut and miss from David Alvarez, the 21-year-old. In 2024, hit .373 over 166 ABs. He's got some power, 9 home runs, 47 RBIs.
With those numbers, you're wondering why he was on the bench, but he's lined it to second base, and he's out.
Made good contact, but lines it right to the second baseman, Spencer Ross. And just like that,
Your second baseman, number 23.
we've got 2 outs in the inning.
Gallo.
And Gallo in to hit 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Gallo looking to do some damage here. 7-4 for his squad. Rodriguez looking to eat up another inning, as that one's just a bit outside. Another pitch here. And he rolls over it in front, and it lands right in front of the catcher.
Gallo's got his uniform pretty dirty today. He's had quite a bit of action over at second base. In the first inning, he made a real nice sliding play, looking to do it with the bat here against the Maple Leafs.
It's now 2-1. Rodriguez with the pitch. Sent over to first base. Rodriguez looking to cover as it's tossed over, and that's the third out of the inning. A quick bottom of the seventh here at Hastings Stadium as we head to the last two innings. The Royals are up 7-4 with a 3-run lead over the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs are going up to bat with 2 more chances to get back on the board.
Thank you.
So coming into the game for the Royals, they had a nice couple of innings eaten up by Arturo Alvarez, but now they have Niall Windler coming in, played in the minor league system for the Minnesota Twins, was the GTBL East York member last year, played for UBC as well. He's been all over the place. A Toronto native right-hander is looking to finish these last 2 innings for the Royals.
Okay, somebody has gone, I believe, to get their prize.
The southpaw out of the bullpen, Niall Windler, spent the 2019 season in minor league baseball with the Minnesota Twins organization. In 2019, pitched 14.2 innings, kept the ERA to 4.91 with a 1.7 whip, so evidently walks were an issue. Now that was in 2019. 6 years later, here in 2025, pitching for the Guelph Royals out of the bullpen. He's clearly got his velocity still. He's got his off-speed pitches working for him by the looks of it. As the Royals catcher, Ward, throws a strike down to second base, and that signals the start of the top of the 8th inning.
So hoping to start the rally for the Maple Leafs is John Javier. He's had a tough start to the game. He had a nice hit as well. He's looking to continue with that hit. And still we have J.D. Williams shadowing that left side of the field. Niall Windler with a strike there to get it to 0-2.
Windler's out in front early. You wonder if he sticks to the fastball or goes off speed.
Oh, off-speed pitch it was. A nice slider inside to get him swinging.
A big cut by Javier just over top of that off-speed pitch. Looked like the curveball there from Windler.
The catcher, number 9, Justin Mara.
So here comes Justin Mara. 32-year-old, also played some minor league baseball with the Chicago Cubs. Justin Mara watches one go in for strike 1.
Mara takes that one on the outside corner.
Windler only thrown strikes so far.
There's one just low as the umpire calls that one at the shins.
Windler once again just a bit low and outside.
Making use of his off-speed pitches here. Makes me think he's going to come high and tight with a fastball.
Definitely a fastball. I'm not.
Fastball down the middle for
Yeah.
strike 2.
Almost strikes him out. Just a little bit of contact there by Mara.
And Mara was able to get a piece of that one. Trying to tune out the fans here.
Once again looking for that swing from Mara, but Mara's not offering on it. Anything outside.
A real nice pitch there from Windler.
Yeah.
That's the pitch you want to make, but just not getting the swing. That one is called on the outside corner for strike 3, much to the dismay
Niall Windler.
Well,
of Mara.
that outside corner's been open all day. And especially in those situations where it's going to be a strikeout or not, he's been calling the strikeouts on that outside corner.
Yeah, it's certainly too close of a pitch to take, but not much of an argument there from Mara. As here's Marcus Necht, looking to take advantage of this righty-lefty matchup.
And down to their last 4 outs are the Maple Leafs next. Hoping not to be one of those 4 outs. That's strike 1. Right down
Necht
the middle.
is 1 for 3 on the day so far with 2 RBIs. Takes that one just inside. Good pitch there by Windler. Didn't get the call on the inside corner. And you got to wonder if the strike zone is maybe changing a little bit depending on what side the batter hits from, as that one is taken outside for a ball.
3-1 is the count. It's Marcus Necht with big-time power in the box, and that one floats right down the middle.
Necht was not expecting that off-speed pitch. He was looking for a 3-1 fastball.
Buckled him a little bit.
Yeah, Windler says no, sir. Gives him the off-speed, and now Necht is going to be guessing.
3-2 fastball. A little bit late is Necht, but does foul it off.
Well, Necht is on the fastball. He was a little bit late just to allow himself that room for error. So if the pitcher does come with the off-speed, he'd be ready for it.
Full count, 2 outs. Top of the 8th for Marcus Necht. And he cuts on it again. This one's popped out to right field and settles under it and makes the catch to end the top of the 8th. It's a great job by the Guelph Royals and a great pitching performance coming into the game was Windler. Windler with 2 strikeouts and that pop out will look to close the final inning for the Royals as well. And here comes some sun finally. A little bit late, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it's better late than never. As the pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs is number 32, Jeremy Newton.
Yeah, Jeremy Newton from Toronto, Ontario, Milwaukee Brewers minor league prospect long ago. He's 31 now. He's a right-hander, and he's been pretty successful with the Leafs for a couple of years now. Newton trying to continue that success here in 2025.
Newton spent the 2016 season with Milwaukee in rookie ball. He threw 8.1 innings, had an ERA of 10.8 with a 2.16 whip, so evidently didn't have too much success with the Brewers organization. But nearly a decade later, he's here with the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking to keep them in this one. They're going to need a shutout inning.
Thanks, Dino.
We're about to get underway here in the bottom of the 8th. Guelph 7, Toronto 4. Jeremy Newton looking to hold Guelph to a 0 here in this inning so that his team can get back on the bats They're going to need 3 runs in the 9th. It'll be a tall task, but for now, we're focused on the 8th.
Ashton Patterson in the box in that. A little bit of a kneel he has, shortening that strike zone.
Yeah, strike zone is certainly smaller on Patterson. Have to wonder if it gets wider, as Patterson fouls that one back and over our heads. No candy for us today.
Patterson, formerly a Guelph Griffin, knows the Guelph area and community quite well as he cuts on that one and strikes through it. Just 22 years old is Patterson as well, and from Kitchener, Ontario.
It's quickly 0-2 on him.
That's a ball.
Makes the wise decision not to swing at that head-high fastball. It's 1-2.
Well, he makes it a head-high fastball, as that one is also a little high, but it's strike 3 anyway, and Patterson's walking back into the dugout.
Patterson doesn't argue with the call. He knows the umpire's been calling it all day.
The shortstop, number 2,
But he
Tommy
turns the lineup over.
Tommy
Batting
Hanger.
now is Tommy Hanger for the Guelph Royals, the shortstop, looking to add on to their lead.
Hanger, well known in Toronto, but playing for the Guelph Royals. He was a part of some Ontario Little League World Series, where you can remember that team that Roman Figueroa had a no-hitter in, hit a grand slam, game-winning hit. Some really fun times in those games, and he was a part of those teams, was Tommy. And that's going to be ball number 3 already.
Well, Hanger is 1 for 4 today, and it's already 3-0 on him. Might be looking for a free pass to first.
And strike 1. And he was looking to maybe sneak away onto first base. Not just yet is for Hanger.
Well, it seems the pitchers have certainly keyed into the strike zone. It's a little bit wider as that one is fouled off, and all of a sudden it's a full count on Tommy Hanger.
Fouls it off again. Tommy Hanger hanging in this one. It's a 3-2 full count.
Hanger
One out in the bottom of the 8th.
Hanger is on the fastball, fouling off 2 of them in a row. Gotta wonder if the pitcher switches to off speed. He sticks with the fastball and it's blasted.
Well hit by Hanger. He's had a couple of well hit balls today that just have not fallen for him, as that one is a fly out to right field.
Pretty good contact there from Hanger. Just didn't get all of it.
12, Nathan Bell.
So Nathan Bell in here. Quite possibly the last at-bat for the Guelph Royals in this game. 2 outs here on the bottom of the 8th. Nathan Bell looks at ball 1. A little bit high there. He came in earlier in the game. He's been filling in at center field for J.D. Williams. And looks at ball 2. That one a little close to him. Now 2-0. 3-0 in back-to-back counts.
Just took that one outside. The catcher didn't do a great job of sticking it. Wonder if he held it for longer. He might have got the call his way.
So is Newton going to be able to get back in the count once again? That's going to be a strike, and he does.
Right at the top of the zone there for strike 1. Hitter's count for Nathan Bell. Let's see what he does with it.
And strike 2 called. couple of fans disagreeing with that call right there, as Bell thought it as well. He was going to be on his way to first base.
Well, I would agree with Bell on that one, but he's been calling it all day. Got to be swinging. Again, a full count.
And he swings at that one. And it sneaks its way through for Bell, as he also takes a slip on this field. It's a bit rough and tumble out there. And you can tell, I think he would have left that one if it weren't for the
certainly.
last at bat and also the last hit. But he swings at it, and it definitely works out for him there as he reaches first base.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you want to send that outside fastball to right field. He kind of rolled over it, sent it over the pitcher's mound, but it worked out for him. He used his wheels to get to first base. I certainly didn't realize how fast of a player Nathan Bell is. Guess he plays center field for a reason.
Andy Bell now into the batter's box. 7-4 still is the score, and Bell's already stealing once again, and that one's in the dirt. Just safe there for Bell with the speedy legs of his, and he gets into second base. Now a runner in scoring position, and a quick runner at that.
Bell pretty much a guaranteed steal every time, even with that really nice throw there from Toronto's catcher, Justin Mara. Was not able to get him. The head first slide.
That one to leader just a little bit inside. It's now a 1-1 count. Jimmy Newton focusing on the batter in front of him.
Newton trying to use the off speed to his advantage, but it has not been working so far as he's missing up and in.
Once again, up and in. Now it's a 2-1 count. Leader now in a hitter's count. And once again inside for the third straight pitch.
Yeah, that one was a fastball, but still missed in the same spot.
It's now 3-1.
You got to assume he goes back to the fastball here, but the question is if he can locate it.
And he does. A little high, but it was enough to get Leader to bite.
I think Leader helped him out there a little bit. That looked like the same pitch as before. Just a little bit swing happy.
Now it's a full count once again. Leader swings and pops it up over to foul territory and into the trees.
Lots of full counts here in this inning. It's been a long inning for Jeremy Newton, the former Milwaukee farmhand. He's looking to put them away here.
That's a big pop of the bat. It's also foul, though. And caught out. The Leafs run into each other, does catch it, and that ends the inning. Hopefully he's okay. The shortstop ranging over for the Maple Leafs. That was John Javier, and it is an out. Hopefully Javier's okay. And that ends the 8th inning. We now head to the top of the 9th. 7-4 is your score from David E. Hastings Stadium.
Score 12. No runs, a hit, a runner left on, no errors. They go to the top of the 9th.
Okay, I call that
Guelph
one an
7,
error.
Toronto 4.
I call that one an error, but I guess not. You're their official caller. Because that went through.
And coming in for the save here for the Guelph Royals is former Major Leaguer Edgar Garcia, the 28-year-old from the Dominican Republic.
Yes, it's on here.
I was wondering if Neil Windler was going to come back into the game to finish it out in the 9th after he had a great outing in the 8th, but
I called it.
It's going to be the maybe a little crowd pleaser here to bring in Edgar Garcia.
Well, Windler certainly pitched very well, but obviously early in the season you want to see these arms, and getting the fans to see a former major leaguer on the mound in Garcia is pretty great. Garcia's MLB career lasted 57 innings.
Now pitching for Guelph,
He had a
number
7.74 ERA with a
Edgar
1.72 whip
Garcia.
and 58 strikeouts over 57 innings. So he's got good strikeout stuff that will certainly play here in the Intercounty Baseball League. And you can just see from his warm-ups, he's hitting his spot every time, right down the middle. Catcher doesn't even have to move his mitt.
Well, the question is, are these Maple Leafs bats going to be able to keep up with him? Right? I think he's certainly going to be able to play. Are the Leafs going to be able to play up to his caliber?
Yeah, that's a good question. The Leafs have not seen velocity like this so far in this game. Arturo Alvarez did pitch very well for a long amount of time. He's got velocity, but not quite as much as Edgar Garcia.
So Edgar Garcia obviously played with the Phillies, Rays, Reds, and Twins all from 2014 to 2021, but most recently played for Monclova in Mexico.
Number 2, Spencer
And now
Ross.
made his way to the Guelph Royals. Spencer Ross going to be the first batter to deal with him as he looks to close this game out for the Royals. And the first pitch is just a little bit low, and it's ball 1. Spencer Ross, 5'7", has a little bit of a smaller strike zone, so looking to bunt it, but that's strike 1 anyway. Pulled away from the high heat.
Yeah, Spencer showed bunt real quick, but then pulled it back even quicker.
Even though it was right down the middle.
Yeah, trying not to give the Royals any sort of tell as to what he's trying to do, and he takes that one high.
2-1 the count here for Edgar Garcia.
I almost believe that he had no intention of actually bunting, just wanted to draw in the defense a little bit.
And ball 3 there. Garcia's now going to have to challenge Spencer Ross.
And Garcia maybe being a little bit too fine with it, trying to hit that outside corner. He's just pulling it a little bit too far outside. That one's in there for strike 2.
Strike 2. Thought he walked Spencer Ross. Tossed the bat away. Going to have to pick it right back up.
And I'm not quite sure what Spencer Ross was thinking. That looked like a strike from here up in the booth.
Yeah.
Much closer than some of the other strike calls that have been had so far today.
So now the count's 3-2. It's all full. Spencer Ross versus Edgar Garcia. And that one just a bit more outside, and Ross gets the walk. So that brings to the plate the designated hitter, Dan Mara, into the game for the Leafs.
Dan Mara is the 8 hitter in this Leafs lineup. You really don't want to be turning it back over.
That's ball number 1. Garcia. Mara gets the pitch outside, looking for Mara to bite. He doesn't.
After Mara, it will be Day Banning, and then back to the top for Dos Santos. As long as there's no double play, as that one is called for a strike.
On the outside corner. Great pitch there by Edgar Garcia. He's right in there, and something that Mara never even thought about swinging at. That one just a tad low.
Now, out of all the pitchers tonight, Garcia is certainly working the outside corner the most. He knows the strike zone very well. Today's strike zone particularly. And he's working that outside corner.
See once again the catcher sets up there. As the fastball popped up first base side and caught for the first out. That's Mara retired.
Sure-handed play there by Wilson at first base. The 9-hitter is coming up now for the Leafs. It's Dennis DeBanning looking to turn this lineup back over to Dos Santos.
And I've been really impressed with what I've seen from DeBanning this this afternoon. He's made a couple of great plays in the outfield, a couple of, turned some double plays into fielder's choices. Obviously tagged up back in the third, and he's really been impressive as he looks at strike one once again on the outside.
Absolutely. DeBanning may be hitting in the 9 spot, but that's almost certainly because of his speed, his ability to turn over the lineup, get on base for those guys at the top. He had 282 last year for Hamilton.
With the breaking ball, that one doesn't get DeBanning to bite. Just 2 outs away from a home opener victory here in front of the Guelph faithful. Edgar Garcia is hoping to be the guy to bring it to him. That one's ball 2.
If DeBanning gets on here, the lineup will turn over to Ryan Dos Santos, who's waiting on deck for his shot. Seems to have tucked in his jersey, or maybe not, since his last at-bat.
Strike 2, a big cut there. A tough one to hit too, a great pitch from Garcia. That brings it to 2 strikes. You can see the fans really getting into it here in the 9th inning.
DeBanning's really got to shorten up and protect here, especially that down and out corner. Catcher's setting up outside.
Strike 3 called. DeBanning is not happy about it, and that's the 2nd out in the 9th. Garcia's just 1 away, and he gets tossed.
Dennis DeBanning gets ejected after looking at strike 3.
Not sure exactly what he said. Couldn't have been good.
Well, I'm a little thankful that we couldn't hear it from up here, but DeBanning caught looking at that outside corner. Like I had just said, he needs to protect that pitch with 2 strikes on him.
Can't put the game in the umpire's hands. You got to keep it in your own.
Exactly. We have 2 outs here in the top of the 9th.
And stealing to second base. It's a wild pitch by Garcia, uncharacteristic by him. Just like you were saying, he was hitting all his spots. He's got the back tuck smiles there in the batter's box. Still yet to tuck it in, though. Just 1 out away for the Guelph Royals. And that's strike 1. Ryan Dos Santos from Caledonia, Ontario. He was the one who started this game, the first batter up. Now he might be the one to end it. Man on second base for the Leafs. Royals getting in there. A good frame job, but not good enough.
Real close pitch there from Garcia. Just didn't get the call on the outside edge. Gonna need to bring that a little bit more inside here.
Garcia looks and deals. And a cut there. Strike number 2, 1 away from that home opener victory. It's gonna be Dos Santos versus Garcia. Strength on strength. The crowd rumbles. Strike 3! Garcia strikes him out. And that's some more words for the umpire, but that's an opening day victory for the Guelph Royals, their first win in 2025. smiles all around the ballpark here in David E. Hastings Stadium, and a great statement win for the Guelph Royals. A great performance throughout the entire game. Had a little bit of trouble there in the third and fourth, but other than that, really well played, well pitched, well hit by the Guelph Royals. And they walk home happy and victorious.
Just a dominant victory overall by the Guelph Royals. They got a lead early, took advantage of some errors in the first inning by the Leafs, and they never looked back. They never gave up the lead. They got close. They were up 4-3 at one point, but then that big 3-run fifth inning really blew it open. They never looked back. Their bullpen did a great job of holding it down. Arturo Alvarez, Niall Windler, and finally Edgar Garcia, who got the save. Just a very well-pitched game from them. They did everything right, and they came away with the victory.
And batting-wise, I mean, what a great game from their third baseman, Garrett Takamatsu, as well on his birthday. He had 3 hits, a home run, a double. Couldn't quite stretch it to get the cycle, but still really impressive what we saw from him. And a lot of the hitters in here, that was the thing that they really struggled with in their first 2 games of the season, was getting those runs in. But today that was no problem for them. And for the Maple Leafs, they as well had some good performances as well, but the errors in that first inning, they could really never catch up to it after that. Even though they had some big home runs, especially that big swing from Marcus Necht, it still was not enough for the Leafs to overcome.
Yeah, Marcus Necht with a big 2-run shot out to left, but that was just not enough for them as Takamatsu went 3 for 4 with an RBI. You know, most of Guelph's runs were unearned. Taylor had 3 earned runs, Alvarez had 1 earned run. So that's 4 out of 7 runs were earned, but the other 3, all 3 of the runs in the first inning were not charged to the pitchers. As that's something that Toronto is really going to have to work on going into these following games. They're going to need to work on their defense, shoring up that left side of the infield especially, as that is what cost them today.
Absolutely, Jaden. It's been a wonderful home opener here at David E. Hastings Stadium. We thank you for listening, and for Lucky Roberts and Jaden Prasad and everybody behind these everybody behind these Guelph Royals broadcasts. We thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.